Welcome to Sewer City Sorrow, session 11. Perhaps the last one. Who knows? If they die, it'll definitely be the last session. But I have a great deal of faith in them and their ability to roll above a 5. Regardless, last session, our brave heroes had just recovered from the ambush of their sergeant by a group of assassins. And in doing so, our wizard had his familiar chase down one of the assassins, and he overheard the plan of Samantha Stark, the deputy mayor in charge of things. She seemed to have some sort of conspiracy set up to kill as many of the town guards as possible, which was a bit strange, seeing as she is a human, trying to get humans killed in the town guard when it seemed as if her desire was to kill subhumans. But regardless, the party overheard the passcode to the drug dealer hangout that had eluded them for so long. And in doing so, they managed to figure out how to get into this hideout. But before they could, they had to interrogate the first assassin they had ever managed to capture in 10 sessions. Quite the feat for them. They seem to always get away or run on top of buildings very fast, as our Goliath had found out previously. And through the long course of interrogation, they found out that this elven assassin they had captured was, in fact, merely a shape-shifted gnoll of some kind. And upon this revelation, I felt it was necessary to meet up with the drug dealers because they heard that Samantha Stark had intended to kill them all. And after a brief standoff with the drug dealers, they came to an agreement to attempt to preemptively attack and kill Samantha Stark before she raids the drug hideout and kills the last few remaining people in the city who are brave or foolish enough to stand up against her. And as they finish that, they return to the barracks, only to meet their sergeant, who was about to contact Samantha Stark when she noticed there was a dead gnoll in her office. And with that, we're going to head into the scene here with your Sergeant Evernight, the half-elven woman. She looks to the three of you, and why should I not notify Samantha Stark about this immediately? There's a freaking gnoll on the floor of my barracks. Would you like to explain this to me?
The assassin is the gnoll.
What do you mean?
I suspected him killed the assassin, and they turned into that gnoll.
All right. I mean, that's quite the outlandish statement that this elf was a gnoll in disguise. Do you have any proof of this?
Did you talk to the... what was that guy's name in the other cell? The human.
The human?
The low-life guy.
The low-life guy. Yeah, he looks to her, clearly kind of a bit meek, and he kind of pauses and he says, if you were to perhaps give me some leniency, I might be obliged to agree with them.
Can I stare that guy down? And
you can intimidate him if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm not good at it, but I think he'd do it anyway.
You can have advantage because he already saw you murder this way scarier creature than him.
I got a 16.
Yeah, with the 16, you kind of give him a death glare, and he kind of strains up a bit, and he kind of nods like subserviently. Yeah, this elf lady was trying to explain why she was gonna help Samantha kill all these people, but she she bit the big guy in the neck, and then they killed her, and then she turned back into one of those hyena men. And as he says that, she kind of looks to you, Uthal. He bit you in the throat?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me, by the way. Yeah, he pulls back his tunic and like shows off the bite marks. I think she was still in the human form when she did, well, elf form when she did that.
Yeah, I guess you can consider yourself lucky she wasn't a gnoll when she bit your throat. She might have ripped it out. I don't know. All right. So what are you guys trying to do? You know, I'm trying really hard to believe in you guys. What is your end game here, guys?
Look, we gotta stop Samantha. She's gonna kill a lot of people. I think she's a gnoll.
You think Samantha's a gnoll? Do you know the mayor? There's no way that the mayor would ever hire a gnoll. He barely hired me, and that was only because nobody wanted this job to begin with.
Probably doesn't even know, but
And that would be the only way. Can you maybe try a little bit more to sell me on this?
Let's see. Other than the gnoll in the cell that we interrogated, who said she was working with Samantha to kill all the non-humans, to kill fellow guards.
Why is she even doing this to begin with?
Maybe Olo would pipe up at this point. He's been just kind of sitting there waiting for his moment. So he pipes up and he says, well, here's the bottom line. You cannot believe us, and, shit's going to get real here real quick, and I'm not going to be around for it. You don't want to believe us? That's fine. But Olo's gone. So enough. I don't think we have to convince you anymore. I mean, you can see a dead gnoll in there.
All right. Well, I have a solution that'll work for everybody here. Okay. Uthal, can you pull that blade out for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he draws a sword.
So, you wish to kill Samantha Stark? Is that true?
Yes.
And she kind of looks at you, looks at the blade. The blade doesn't glow. She says, well, the blade seems to believe in you. And if I know anything about that blade, doesn't usually tell lies. All right, well, what do you have me do? What's the plan then?
He looks to his two companions. We gotta kill her soon. It's the only way. Will you join us?
Okay, I'll help you guys, but if this starts to turn into some nonsense, I promise I'll do everything within my power to take you three down if for whatever reason you're not telling the truth here. And
I guess we should tell you one more thing. We've enlisted some help. It's not someone you'll like.
Well, as long as it's not the car, I don't think it should be too bad.
Well, here's the thing. It is.
Oh, hold on a second. I couldn't get my mute button fast enough.
Sorry.
So I'd like to just rewind like 3 seconds. So just
Yeah,
before
sure.
Uthal says that, Olo says, "Of course not. Of course we wouldn't." This shit's crazy. Why would we work with the car? I mean, come on. Of course we wouldn't do that, right, guys?
All right, so I like to think that the three of you are very competent privates and corporal. So the three of you are just gonna run up there and try to kill her. You know that she has 2 knights assigned to just guard her barracks, and these aren't like the city guardsmen they hire here off the street. These are like serious knights, probably innocent knights. What's the plan we're gonna do with them?
Any chance we can make a distraction? Draw them away somehow?
I think
I
that's
mean-
would be unlikely, Rom. They're
I mean,
probably
if it's-
pretty.
if it's just
crazy.
if it's just like the 4 of us, maybe. How many people are you expecting to come help you? And you guys would know from the crime hideout you guys snuck into that there were maybe 15 people there. You're not sure if they all would come, but there was a quite a large amount of people.
How about the whistle?
Right.
Well, generally, I mean, if you've ever blown a whistle here, you can be pretty sure to say, you ever seen one of those knights respond to a whistle call?
Has it ever been close enough that they would be expected to respond?
That's been pretty close. They have pretty distinct orders to guard the barracks. They're basically almost like her bodyguards. It's their job to make sure she's safe. Nobody else matters, really. I mean, if you're like murdering somebody right in front of them, I guess they might help. But
So, are they assigned to the barracks, or do they follow her around?
technically, they don't like to make the guard presence known, so mainly to the barracks. Perhaps you could just, I don't know, overwhelm them and knock them out. It would be really, really bothersome if you guys killed innocent people to prove that some evil person was guilty.
Could we draw Samantha away somehow?
I don't think so. They're guarding the barracks to where she's at, so I don't think so.
I don't know, guys.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us together could probably beat up her guards. I mean, if your friends are any deal competent, they could probably help too. I mean, you guys just want to
We can use them as a distraction. Let's full go in. Take on Samantha.
That is a great idea, Uthal.
What do you mean?
I mean,
Maybe let me help you, buddy. Let me help you. Maybe they could go in, engage these knights, and we could slip past.
that was my plan.
Yeah, I knew that was your plan, Uthal.
I mean, those knights can handle themselves. I expect they'll be fighting for quite some time and shouldn't die.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I suggest we meet up with your. She kind of pauses. Friends. You can tell she kind of knows who you're talking about just because of the way your Olo blurted out in a laugh. And
I didn't even make a deception roll.
sometimes you don't have to roll. Okay. Oh no! What are the odds of that? Yeah. So she kind of looks at the three of you and she says, "All right. Well, if we're gonna do this anytime, we have to do it now. She's gonna find out sooner than later." And with that, are you guys gonna head out?
Yep, I think so.
Yep.
Are we on like max HP and stuff? I can't remember.
You guys are basically at full everything.
Okay.
You guys said you're all at full hit points, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not super worried about this. This is like your final boss battle in an RPG where you just get healed to full because you know you're gonna get wrecked if you don't get healed to full.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So with that, the four of you head out. Where are you guys gonna try to go up first? You obviously know where you're supposed to go at the end game. Where are you gonna go to meet up with the other people?
I'm gonna take my little friend, and I am going to talk to him, and I'm gonna say, "All right, little buddy, and you really need you to do me this favor. I need you to take this little message to our other friend, Dakar, and
I get to see Everett just looks at you and just shakes her head.
but don't let anybody else get you. All right, you got to be really sneaky, bud." And he would like kind of fold up this little note and put it around his little friend, his little rat friend.
Okay, so you see Olo's rat buddy runs off into the darkness, and Samantha's it's not Samantha, she's Evernight, kind of looks to the three of you. All right, are we headed out? Where are you guys gonna go while this letter is being delivered? Where do you guys want to do your staging grounds at? Okay. You're going a lot of dice, so let's get that.
Right. Well, Samantha's probably got her druids out watching the city. We're gonna be careful on the approach. I mean, she mentioned them.
Something like that, yeah.
So I'm trying to think of some like back alley way of getting to the to this barracks where she's at.
Right, you can roll a history check.
Let's see. Just so we could do like
Ram, you've lived here, right, for a while?
Yeah.
stealthy check.
You roll with advantage.
I can also send out my owl to try to do some recon. 25.
Jeez. Yeah. Surprisingly, to no one, perhaps, you know of all the back alley paths. Your some of your friends helping you out a bit over the years, and you can find just a clear path. To your sergeant, it seems like a waste of time the way you guys are going, but you seem to be heading under all the correct underpasses and awnings and so on and so forth. And you guys quickly find yourself just outside the barracks. In fact, you're actually pretty close to the butchery shop that you investigated earlier. And you see a familiar-looking dwarf kind of poke his head out from the building and gesture for you four to come over. And Evernight kind of just grits her teeth angrily. She kind of looks to the three of you.
Does she actually know what he looks like?
She knows he's a dwarf. Beyond that, she can kind of put two and two together.
Olo's gonna look as innocent as the day is long.
Just be like, oh, well, he could be any dwarf. You don't know.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
What do you? It's not like he has a name tag on or anything.
His name is
Just my old pal Felgon, you know?
Spellguard. All dwarves look the same.
Oh, so this is the guy who wrecked you in a single combat duel, fairly,
yep.
right?
Yep.
He beat
Put
you
aside
fairly,
differences just for the moment.
okay. And with that, the four of you kind of slink in there. You see Dakar kind of looks to you. He says, all right. And he kind of smiles as he looks to your sergeants. I don't think you know who I am, but you can call me Baradar. How about that? And as he says that, your sergeant just looks to you, just trying her best to ignore him. All right, so what's the plan? Are we just going to murder everybody? I know murder seems to be your MO.
Well, her guards, they're probably innocent. Don't really want to kill them if we don't have to. So we can take them out and then go in for Samantha without killing.
And you guys kind of are talking, and you kind of look behind Baradar, and you see he has a lot of his flunkies with him. You see he has, looks like 15 thugs. They're not anything special. They're not super tough like the assassins you fought or anything like that. But they're just a pretty good, just bulk number of people. And he says, all right, look, I know all about how fast guard times are when they react to things. And he kind of looks to the sergeant again. If we attack these knights, they're going to call for backup. And they have a little bit nicer, a little bit better of a signal whistle than you guys. But you know that, right, Sarge? And your sergeant just kind of nods weakly, just giving up any hope of protest at this point. Yes, they have much, much higher quality whistles than us. They're very distinct. Well, the problem with that is the other guards they have on hand, they'll be here within a minute of us attacking. So we're going to have a little bit of a contingency plan here.
What if I stole one of the whistles?
Well, there's two of them. I don't think they would let you close enough to steal one, let alone two. My plan here, tell me how this sounds, is I can take some of my men and they can bar the access gates. And that'll buy you guys enough time to get in and get out before all the other town guards get here and crush you. Does that sound good?
Sounds about as good as we're gonna get.
And he kind of looks over to Uthal and he says, oh man, I can't believe you disconnected. And with that, I guess we're going to be taking a minute here for Uthal to get back. But you kind of get the idea that he probably feels like he could send maybe 5 of his men away and they could sabotage the gates from one of the other higher end regions, maybe to give you guys an extra minute or two. And with him and his 10 men, you guys think you could probably stand a decent chance against Samantha and her individuals, to say the least. Uh-oh, Harry died.
Yeah, he just messaged me. He just said he lost connection. He's gonna try to get back in.
Messaged you, he messaged me.
So so what? When there's a moment when Olo can get to Rom on his own, he would kind of get up close to him and kind of whisper to him, say, "Hey, Rom, do you really think this is a good idea? You know, there's really nothing holding us here. We could leave."
Well, this doesn't seem like the kind of thing you can just put on the back burner and ignore. It'll come back to bite us in the ass eventually if we leave.
Okay, I've trust you to this point, and it hasn't gotten me killed. And he kind of looks at you. Yet.
Damn close.
Yeah. So he would maybe just open up this book that he often writes in, and you would notice that it's like all these different shoes. He's like been drawing these different types of shoes. Kind of looks at you, Rom, and he says, "You know, if I live, I'm gonna get my shoe store. I just know I am."
How are we gonna pay for that? You don't wear shoes.
It's not for me. Everybody else does. It's priceless.
Don't you know? Sellers are usually not users. You just hear Dakar just over listening the two of you talking. He knows all about drugs. Shoes are totally drugs to him.
Oh, we're not using a code word or anything. We're talking about actual shoes.
I know. I know. So why you do this to me?
So I rolled a 25 on history. Is there anything else that I could kind of think up might be a kink in this plan? Other than the obvious?
The only thing is you don't know of any exit paths in the barracks aside from the front one, I guess.
Oh, great. Okay.
That's not to say there aren't, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
Even at 25, you're not going to know the
Yeah, I know.
paths of the
I'm
barracks.
not thinking about secret paths. I'm just thinking about, like, all right, tactically, like, what are the holes in our plan?
Tactically, the holes in your plan would be
There's only one exit.
there's that, and I mean, Dakar has no real reason to keep you alive, I guess, after you beat the boss. I don't know.
That's a good point.
You do know the entrance to his lair.
That is true.
That's a good point.
That's okay. Now, I'm glad you know that, Rom, because Olo does not have the street smarts to know that. He would just be like, "Hey, good job, huh, Dakar?" Dakar drives a sword into him.
I mean, hopefully Samantha's strong enough that she just kills all of the other people before you guys die.
All right, send in the cannon fodder. I'm just gonna stand back here. Oh, units down in the building.
Tell him to get in the call on his phone. Just tell
Yes, he said his whole building is down, and he's like on the 7th floor. So
How
Sounds
is
to
an
me-
entire building's internet down?
that sounds to me like they had a bad bridge or something, or whatever the heck they call that. I mean, he's like a 7 or 8 story building he lives in at school. So
Tell him to reset his router and see if that helps.
Wait, I'll help him out. I'll help him with IT tech stuff right here.
ITT Tech.
Here we go. Is your computer turned on?
Get the coffee mug off of the.
I finally got infinite data on my plan. My Verizon plan. They finally offered that.
Oh, for your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot of free time at my job. Literally half the shift I'm in an office, just looking at cameras. So it's just crazy. Infinite data. Well, this is awkward.
Boop-a-doo. It's time for shoot the shit time with Dan, Lionel, and Joe. All right. Today's topic is stupid shit that other players do. Let's start with Lionel. What do you hate the most?
That I hate the most? When people out of character are constantly interrupting other players. Hate it. Not to say that I don't do it sometimes. You know, there's the unintentional, you start talking because you think someone's done. But I'm talking about like people that constantly interrupt another player when they're clearly in mid-dialogue.
Mm-hmm. I hate it when, I don't know, when like players kind of like talk about when they metagame like really hard.
You know what I really hate?
Like they're like, oh, it's a beholder. You gotta watch out for this, this, and this. And like,
all right, it's your turn, Joe. Sorry, I got another one already.
I really hate when every single person ever starts all their fucking games an hour or two before I get home from work, so I can never play in any games.
That sucks. Yeah, it does.
I don't like being that person. Hey, can you guys start like 2 hours later for me? I mean, I'm a pretty cool guy. So, yeah, I haven't been in any, aside from obviously running this, which I haven't run in like 2 months. I'm in 2 other games. One is ending. I kind of feel like the DM gave up on the game. Yeah. And the other game is Princes of the Apocalypse, which I'm kind of whatever about. I hate games when you don't seem to have any sense of urgency in them. Yeah. That's what I really hate, are games with no sense of urgency.
Yeah. Well, geez, you got a lot of them. I'm glad this is therapeutic. All right, this is good. So for me, kind of going on what you said, Dan, I hate players that metagame the mechanics. And that's what I think I like about Theater of the Mind. You're less likely to game the mechanics. In my home group, we play with miniatures. And everyone is constantly doing shit that there he is back. Make no sense just because mechanically it's solid.
Yeah, mine is like being nitpicky about the rules.
He's back.
I know the rules pretty well. I don't usually make a big deal out of it too much.
Like carry weight and like shit like that.
Those have a purpose if you're running that type of game. But if the game doesn't rely on that at all, it doesn't matter. If you're doing like a survival game, then yeah, I would worry about that. Food, it doesn't matter unless it's a survival game. Yeah, I would just make it a not even just like a slight accounting thing, just bookkeeping. But are you back? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So
internet rolled a 1.
Your internet rolled a 1.
Whoops.
That's not good.
I just realized I have a short bow I have never used this whole game.
You have a short bow?
Yeah. I'm looking at my inventory as we're waiting, and I'm like, I have a short bow. I'm going to get rid of it because I've never used it.
Which I fucking never use.
Yep.
I think you've used it before, right? Though I remember you taking one shot with it.
I think that was like in one of the very first.
Oh no, I'm talking about Uthal using.
Yeah, I've used it. I've used it like once. That was it.
Yeah. All right. So now that Uthal's back, just to recap very quickly here, Randuin, I want to say Randuin, Dakar has basically said he's going to send 5 of his 15 men to hold up the gates to give you guys enough time to get in and deal with Samantha. And if you guys have any last questions or requests, speak your piece now before they head out.
All right. What's the plan to get out?
Well, here's my best bet, okay? Somebody as fancy and as important as Samantha has to have an exit, okay? Not just some regular, normal exits. She has meetings with famous people all the time, higher-ups. They have to have some sort of secret exit in there somewhere. And assuming enough of us are alive, maybe we can, find and sneak out. You know magic, don't you? Can't you, like, go invisible or something?
I can. It's my friends who I'm worried about.
You know, in times like this, you know what they always say, let's just improvise.
Yep. Plans don't last very long anyway.
Honestly, if we can kill Samantha, that might have to discount that as a win. Whether it becomes a resounding victory or a Pyrrhic victory, gotta take them when they come and go, I guess. But let's get out of here. And with that, the 15 of you, actually, 10 guys, the 10 faceless mooks, and then the 5 of you others kind of head out. And you guys are pretty close to this barracks. You see these 2 knights just kind of standing there. What is your plan? Are you guys just going to try to sneak up on them? What are you trying to do?
Have I heard this, like, fancy whistle before?
No, they pretty much never blow it. There's usually not, like, a super life or death thing.
Actually, I think we did hear it, and I may be wrong. I think we heard it when we were in the
Butcher shop?
butcher shop. And remember when before we were going to get caught?
yeah.
I think we did hear it.
Actually, that's probably true. You probably did hear it.
Because I remember those guys
I
showing
remember
up.
that.
That is true, actually. Then
We tried to, like, draw them away, and then...
Yeah.
Then yes,
Okay.
you have heard it once.
Well, I have a minor illusion.
I have been studying my wizard book very closely, and I am ready. Yeah, I have some new magics that I am ready to unleash. And Olo does not look in any way intimidating when he does this, but he kind of does it like one of those feet apart, like
Turns red.
okay. Yeah, he's
You're
like,
about as intimidating as a Noel stool, I imagine.
and he's gotten this. And did you guys know that he went and he had purchased this nice little, like, what he thought he was told was a wizard's hat. So it's like this little conical hat, and it's got these like little stars and moons all over it. And he's got that on, and he's like, he is ready.
Well, you look like at least a jester, anyway. So
It's all part of my plan.
how are we gonna start this? Oh, you want my men to try to take initiative here?
Spell stunts. What were you gonna do, Lionel?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe one of us could. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna draw.
Olo actually does that. He's like, "Hey, I got an idea." Oh, no, nope, don't have an idea. Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, I was gonna make the whistle sound, draw him into a blind alley, and then we jump him, knock him out.
That's right. We don't have to kill them. Never thought of that.
These particular guards, I don't think they're going to respond to the whistle the same way you think.
Are there only 2 whistles ever made? Like, are there only 2 of these guards?
2 of these guards here. The other guards are in adjacent sections of the city. If you blow that whistle, those guards will come here.
Oh.
And then we'll have a lot of guards and we'll have even more problems.
That's a good point. I didn't think the whistle would carry that far.
Well, theirs are a little bit better. They have those amplification magic, you know?
Oh.
What if we made it so it didn't make any noise there? Like with magic. It made sound just like not make any noise. You know, like silenced.
I have disguise self.
Do any of you know silence?
Well, I was no, out of character. I was kind of hoping Dan did, but I do not.
I'm sensing Dan doesn't.
I do. No, I have it.
There you go. You could cast silence. I'm out of character real quick. You could cast silence on the guards. We could deal with them. It'd be quiet, so it wouldn't matter how much noise would they make. They could blow those whistles all they want, and we can knock them senseless, bind them up, and go in. That would be perfect.
Do that. What do you guys think? Sound like a plan?
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yep.
All right. How do you want to approach this? Like, how far away from them are we, and like, where are we?
I'd say the building is probably like 60 feet away from them, and then on the opposite side of the building, you guys are probably about 100 feet away. If you're on the opposite side where they can't see you. So if you were to walk up closer, you could probably get within 50 feet.
Maybe Evernight could walk up to them because she would be probably more likely to be the one that most naturally approach the place. That's what I think. I don't know what you guys think.
Maybe all of us approach, and then we throw down the silence, and like they jump in once we throw down the silence.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, that sounds pretty good.
So what, the 4 of you?
Yeah.
You 3 plus Evernight?
Another out of character question, because I don't know. Is silence a concentration spell?
It is.
So you would want to sit back then.
Yeah, it is. 10
Yeah,
minutes.
so you want to stay back then. And
You must not get clubbed with a greatsword.
Yeah, so that you don't get hit.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, he probably doesn't want to get clubbed anyway. But
And I will stand back and protect you while you maintain your spell.
And Sergeant Evernight just stares at you like fucking cowards. And she kind of looks to Uthal. All right, can I trust you to stand your ground? She kind of looks up you.
Yeah. I'm not standing back to guard our friends like Olo.
Well, I mean,
Olo's going to say, well, my magic doesn't work in silence, Uthal. And he kind of tosses a little flaming ball that he makes with his prestidigitation back and forth. See?
Yes, but your magic kills people.
Does it really, though? Does it?
I send him to a better place.
Fine.
All right. So we're going to go up with you 3 plus your sergeants. So I'll let Uthal, you're with Evernight in the front, so kind of explain what your party's doing. I'll give you the lead for this part.
So run by the layout of the barracks. So the barracks is like heading away from us, and the entrance is at the opposite end where the guards are, so they can't see us approaching. Is that right?
You guys are on the opposite side of a building that's in front of them, okay? So if you guys kind of approach, you kind of walk around the corner and come into view about 50 feet away.
Okay.
They would see, obviously, just the 4 of you.
Yeah. well, definitely want to have the rest of our party, the 11 of them, like behind that building, ready to rush in and help if needed.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I think we just all approach as a group.
All right. So I'll say the four of you kind of begin to approach, and the guards are kind of standing there. They see the four of you approach, and they get a little bit tense, seeing four strangers approach. And you can kind of look at your sergeant. She looks a little bit nervous. She's not exactly the type to lie very often. And she says, "Men, I'm here, Sergeant Evernight of the Town Watch. I'm here on business with Samantha Stark. My sending stone is currently not working." And as she says this, the guards kind of look at her. And we'll do a little bit roll. See if she's a good liar. And the guards kind of straighten up a bit, and they kind of narrow their eyes. "You're the leader of the town guard." And as she says this, the guards kind of laugh a bit, and she kind of growls and pulls out her badge and shows them. "Yes, I am the sergeant of the town guard, not that any of these humans in this town would like to be." And as she kind of shows them her badge, they kind of grumble a bit, and they agree that she is who she says she is. And these three, who are they? And she kind of looks back at the three of you. "Oh, these are my recruits." Or not, I shouldn't say recruits. They're my deputies, my guardsmen. "Didn't you see them come through a little while back?" And they kind of pause and they think about it. "I did hear about Samantha, Miss Stark, meeting with a bunch of demi-humans. I guess this could be them." And they kind of talk back and forth a bit, and they say, "All right, it's a little bit unorthodox, but I guess I can let the four of you in." And the guy kind of steps aside and kind of have a clear access to this door.
Okay. What did Harry? What are you?
Damn. We could just. This is out of character. We can just get entrance and fucking just go in.
Yeah, but like.
Or we could just go like past them. You cast silence, and then we just turn around, and smack them in the back of the head.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like we basically like we're kind of like looking to each other like seriously, and then I like make eye contact with Dakar, who I guess is like posting up behind them, like hiding.
He's like further back. He's like 50 feet behind us. Plus, he's like behind the other building, I think, right?
Yeah, you could see him probably like, if you know exactly where to look, you might see him every once in a while poke his head out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably like one of those things where you kind of like do this little wave down by your waist, very incognito, Rom, so that he knows to hold up, not to come rushing yet.
All right, so I guess the four of you probably walk right past the guards here.
Yeah.
And you kind of head into the building a bit, and you see just kind of like a large barracks room, and in the back of the room, you kind of see a bit of an office. Kind of reminds you of the office that your boss has back in the crappy barracks where you guys all work, except this one is clearly like very, very nice. You can just kind of see through the windows of the office just a little bit. It's rather dark in there though, and you know that the furnishings in that dark room seem to be pretty well off. Even this barracks itself, you know, it's not leaking and moldy smelling like the one you guys work in. But as you guys kind of step past these guards, what do you do? You can kind of hear them mumbling to one another. You just kind of hear them go like, "Oh, I wonder what she's doing with all these subhumans. It's kind of weird."
Do I see anyone in the barracks as I'm sort of just about to enter, or is it? Does it
You guys
empty?
look in. You don't see anybody in there.
Um,
It's not a very large barracks. It's just kind of like for the occasional guard rotations and such like that. I could probably hold 10 knights if they really had to.
I kind of want to give the super secret signal, and
All right, yeah.
hopefully normal silence.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass them, and you just you suddenly just your ears start ringing, and like you can't hear shit. And it's a 20-foot radius sphere, so it's pretty big.
Yeah. And then I want to like just turn around really suddenly and just try and bash one over the head.
Yeah.
It's
All
not
right.
gonna work, but yeah.
I'll give you guys a surprise round. Obviously, you're casting silence is your surprise. Uthal and Olo, what is your surprise?
So we're beyond the guards now in the barracks itself. I would just try to move outside of what would be the radius of this magic. But I wouldn't. But Olo, in all honesty, Olo wouldn't really know how far it would reach. So he'd probably just go like, how far could I go?
The inside of this barracks is probably like 60 feet deep.
Okay, so I'd probably go about 15 or so feet in.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to subdue these guys. I kind of want to grapple them, stop them from drawing their weapons, like grapple one of them. Don't know whether I would win that though. Just to try and stop them from drawing their weapons is my aim. Then once they're grappled, I can deal with them. So that's my surprise round, lunging for one of them. Say the one on the right.
You're grabbing or attacking one?
I'm going to try and just grapple one, yeah.
All right.
See if Dice Supreme works. Right, should I roll athletics? Oh, hold on. All right. That's a 12. Amazing.
Okay. Very powerful 12.
Yep.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah. With a 20 on their athletics check. Describe how this goes. It's a very powerful.
Well, I mean, I imagine he just like brings his arms round, like all the way. Realizes he can't actually squeeze because the guy's. I think the guy's in full plate, right?
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Ah, shit," and just goes through his mind, and he just, yeah, it's not gonna work.
So you kind of
Probably weighs more than
you
we
almost
thought.
you almost trip into this guy, trying to grab him. Kind of looks up. Yeah, there's this weird sensation because he doesn't hear anything, but he feels this just heavy, huge guy trying to kind of push into him. All right, so you do that, and what is Olo doing?
Like I said, he's just going to move out of the threat range. So once he kind of hears his foot go, the pad of his foot hit the floor because he knows he's outside of the range, he's going to turn around and huck a Eldritch Blast at one of these punks.
All right.
And I think I'm going to make a ranged spell attack for that, if I remember correctly. Nah, don't worry about it. It sails out into the street over everyone's head.
Great start, guys. All right.
You know what? I think this is pretty fitting.
This has
We're
changed
consistent.
our luck.
All right, so the knights kind of look a bit confused. They see this gigantic, hulking Goliath trying to grab him, and he just instinctively grabs his whistle and blows on it. And he looks confused, like something is wrong. And as he kind of does that, you kind of see him grab his great sword. As his companion kind of notices this as well, and you see both these knights pull out their great swords, and you kind of look at them. You can kind of see their mouths a little bit, and you just see the mouth roll initiative. Let's go for it.
Um, 19 for me.
Rom got a 19.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Just trying to remember if I get
have advantage.
on initiative. I think I do. It's been a while. Right. Where's Dice Stream? Do you work? Let us see.
I rolled so many initiatives right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
10.
What's your grand total?
10.
10. You get +4 on
I have a
dexterity.
+4 and I'm not sure why. Did I get a +2 from something?
Oh, your blade gives you +2.
Yeah.
So you got 10. Okay.
Ethel, you are inspiring.
Y'all are some shitty dice rollers. Let you guys know that.
My initiative was pretty good.
I think it's just Dice Stream, man. It's just Dice Stream.
Yeah.
I'm rolling all this stuff on roll 20 because I'm going to be rolling like stacks of dice at
We
once.
go like 20s. 20s for days. Oh.
Yeah.
So with
Throwing
that,
things out like dollars, man.
you see Randuin kind of knows what's up, and as you try to tackle this guy, we'll go first up in initiative here is Rom.
It's all over, criminal scum. Alright,
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
I'm gonna back off out of the radius, and then I'm gonna cast haste on Uthal.
I'd recommend not doing that because it's a concentration spell.
Oh shit, you're
The
right.
concentration spell,
Sorry.
yeah.
I'm a nice guy, so I won't.
Yeah,
talk
it's a
to
good
him
point.
running. I assume your character is a bit smarter than you.
True. All right, I'll back off. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stick him there. I'm gonna try to take him down as quick as I can. I'm gonna attack.
All right, with your blade.
Same one Uthal's on.
All right, go for it.
And I'm gonna use Flame Blade.
All right.
Like an extra D8 if it hits. Okay. 21.
21 definitely hits.
All right. So this guy gets 9 plus 3, 12 damage, and the guy adjacent to him gets 8 fire damage. So you just see you see the fire, but you don't hear any crackling or anything like that. And it just hits these two guys.
Yeah, you just see these kind of knights kind of get just lit up on fire, and you might expect a normal guy to kind of keel over dead, but they kind of just turn their gaze and stare at you, and you can tell these knights mean business. Although that hurt, clearly, they're well-trained badasses, to say the least. And with that, we'll head up to Olo.
Right, he's gonna do the same thing. Throw a little eldritch magic. Nat 20.
Shooting the one that got hit by the flame, or the adjacent guy who got hit by
Oh no, I'm totally cooking that guy. So Olo uses Rom's blow to kind of guide his shot, and that's what he does. So that is 2d10, I believe.
You guys are level 5, so wouldn't that be 40-10?
Oh, actually, I'm level 5.
Yep.
I actually cast 2 of these things, I believe. No?
Oh, that's right. So you get to do one more attack.
Ooh, I cheated myself last time.
Well, you guys just hit 5 right now.
All right, so let me do them damage first. Let's do that. So that's going to be 12 points of force damage.
Okay.
And I am going to totally miss. I'm so excited with that first hit, and I fire another one. I'm like,
You roll that one attack you didn't take.
no, I just did.
I
Oh,
know.
I know what you mean. I got you. Yeah, it's not going to matter. So what happens is Olo is so surprised that that 2 of these things leap out from his finger. He's only used to 1. He's like, because this is the first time he's cast this spell. Oh no, technically it's the first time, but anyways, I'm done.
He's like, wow, I got double the firepower. Oops, I just hit the ceiling.
Yeah, I should have taken a full prone position for more stabilizing firing position.
And as you kind of hit this one guy, the guard on the right that's only taken a little bit of damage, he kind of turns and he sees Uthul. And you know this guy is just a trained warrior. You can tell just by his form he's an expert as he kind of raises his blade up and just strikes down at you twice. And you know this is going to hurt if he makes contact. So let's hope he doesn't, right? That's always the best strategy is to just hope and pray, right? That's about you. Full retard right now. All right, what's your armor class, Uthul, right now?
Uncanny dodge. Yeah. 19.
Oh,
Wow.
I thought it was 29.
So the first one, you kind of just clinks it just right on the edge of your armor, kind of scrapes off. And then as he kind of swings back on the backhand, he seems a little bit off balance. His equilibrium is a little bit messed up from the silence spell. And you just see this guy trip, and he just falls prone right on the ground right in front of you. And you just see his greatsword just kind of slide past you, Uthul, into the barracks.
Fair enough. Did you roll a 1?
He did roll a 1.
Nice.
And then you just see all 10 of these bandits just hop out from behind the wall. They kind of line up their shots. And you kind of get the idea of, oh, this might have actually hurt if it was affecting us back when you were stuck in that kill box of a room. And they'll take 5 shots on each of these guards, okay? The one that's not standing prone, miss, a miss, oh my god, and a miss. Wow, I can't break the 10s on my dice rolls. I'm super good at this game, guys. And then you see the other 5 guys trying to shoot at the guard who's prone. All right, you manage to see them manage to connect 2 shots on him. When he's kind of stuck on the ground trying to get back up. And he takes the 2 shots that do hit the prone guard do seem to be pretty clean shots. It hits this guy right in the square of the back, and he kind of growls out in pain. But you obviously can't hear it. So up next would be the other knights. This is not good. Okay, so the other guard kind of looks. He's a bit surprised that his friend dropped his sword. So he'll try his best to put the hurting on Uthul. And he'll lift up his blade and just try to strike out at you in a much better way than his friend did. 25 and a 21. So kind of on a bit of a high, watching this other knight just trip over himself. But the other guard seems to be right on point. And you just get struck twice. Just clubbing blows. This blade just digging into you. And you know this is going to hurt more than it probably should. 20 damage. I don't know if you want to block that, but...
Owie. I think I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and block that.
Use your
Right.
reaction.
Yeah. Right. I need a D12. Please roll high. Please roll high.
Your rolls are just outstanding.
So I block a total of 4 of that. So I take 16 damage. Doing
Right,
well.
you try to man up, but it looks a little bit unimpressive as he just slices into you. It looks brutal.
If you could hear it, Uther will actually be like screaming out in pain.
Ah!
Great sword just like digs into his side.
Yeah, and then behind them, you see Dakar is just running full speed, and he's a dwarf. He's not the fastest guy in the world, so he gets about halfway there, and you see he's holding these 2 battle axes, and he just chucks them right at this guard from behind. Plus what? You see these 2 axes go flying. 4. Hopefully these hurt. Oh wow, net 1. The first axe goes just flying right over their heads. You just see this axe fly off into another district. And then the second one just hits this other knight in the leg and bounces off his armor. And you guys start to worry, like, oh man, these dice rolls seem awfully familiar. But up next is Rom. I believe in you, Rom.
All right, I'm gonna go for the prone guy.
Okay,
Same thing as last time. Let's do it.
you have advantage.
All right. 23.
Hit for sure. Find a hole in his
Alright.
plate armor, you just clack right into him.
Oh, Harry. It's Harry's turn, I think.
Didn't Harry just go? Or I'm sorry, did I skip you, Harry?
Yeah, I just took a lot of damage and then the dwarves
Oh,
went.
that's right. My bad. I'll let you go right after him. My bad.
No problem.
So,
Shit.
did you do? Actually, we'll just do your attack right now, Harry.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do my 2 attacks on
The guard
the
that's
guy
standing
that's-
up or on the
yeah, the
ground?
guy that's standing up.
Okay.
Right. So I can roll higher than a 1. Well, there you go. That's a total of like 25.
Yeah, the magic number is 18. They're wearing plate armor.
You know, it's pretty good. Right. D10. Is the guy that's standing up damaged?
Oh, he's definitely damaged. They're both.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah,
just
okay.
like unleashed a barrage of attacks on these guys.
Right. So he then takes. Oh my god.
Your rolls are just outstanding.
11 damage.
All right. With that 11 damage, you see this knight kind of grimaces in pain. You guys have dropped like just a literal beatdown on these knights, and they're obviously not looking too good. The one you just hit is obviously much more hurt though than the other one. And now we're back to the regular order here, which was Rom.
All right.
By the way, how are you casting Flame Blade if you're in the Silent Zone?
Isn't it somatic and material?
It's your spell. I have no idea.
For sure. I thought I like just kind of go.
I don't even know what that spell is. So
It's called Green Flame Blade, but I didn't want to make it green, so it's just Flame Blade.
okay. Well, I'll go with what you say.
It does have a verbal component. It's verbal and VM.
Shit, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then I guess I'm just attacking.
All right.
So just straight up.
On the prone guy,
Yeah, on the prone guy, he gets 10 damage.
hit him for 10 damage. You said.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kind of cut into this guy, stabbing him in the shoulder a bit before he can regain his senses. And we'll head up to Olo next. These guards look they're bleeding pretty bad. They're very confused. Their sound is broken for some reason.
Yeah. Olo is going to run up and grab the fallen knight's greatsword and run away with it.
Okay. Like into the barracks?
Yep.
Okay. And you did 10 damage, right? Rom?
Yep, 10. And I'm trying to do non-lethal.
Okay. And with that, we'll go up to the knight who dropped his blade. He kind of limps back up to his feet, and he's a bit confused as to what to do here. And he'll pull a dagger out from his belt, and he'll try to stab you again, Luthor. Four. And 9. So you'll see him get one stab at you in the chest, kind of cutting at your side a bit as he does so. He does. Oh wow, max damage. 7 damage to you with his dagger strike.
Damn. What a dagger.
It's almost half as good as that red cap dagger.
Yeah.
Almost. All right, so he kind of stabs you, and he kind of looks up, and he's surprised that you're not dead. You just took like 2 greatsword strikes and a dagger strike. He's wondering if you guys are as tough as he is. And before that can be answered, you see all 10 of these bandits ready up their bows again. And let me just roll 5, 10, 10, 20. All right. The first volley of 5 shots from the left guard, that's already pretty badly injured. He gets hit twice, and the guard on the right gets hit once. So the one guard takes... Oh, wow. You just see him get like an arrow right in the back of the leg, one like right up in the shoulder blade, kind of sticking out of his, almost out of his neck, as he kind of grimaces and kind of almost keels over. And the guard who just stabbed you, Uthal, he takes 6 more damage. You see him, he gets hit as well. And the first knight is almost unconscious at this point, just blood dripping everywhere. As we'll head over to their turn now. Seems to be quite the bloody little brutal battle for everybody. Right. So the first knight, who is almost on death's door at this point, kind of surveys the situation, and he does the only thing he can think of to try to get away, and he'll try to do a shove action on you, Uthal.
Okay, do I need to like oppose?
Athletic check.
Athletics. Okie dokie. I have literally never done a shove in my entire time playing D&D.
Literally the same exact thing as athletics. It's just a type of athletics check.
Yeah. Hey! Oh, what am I doing? I'm using Dice Stream.
Wah, wah.
Whoops. I forget this. Oh my god.
Yeah, with his 25 against your less than a 10, he
Yeah.
kind of just grabs you by the scruff of your neck. He just slams you on the ground. And you're caught off guard by this as he tries to run past you guys into the barracks. And I'm going to say you're not going to get an opportunity attack because he just slams you on the ground. But you can definitely take an opportunity attack, Harry. Not Harry, I'm sorry. Wrong. You're right in melee with this guy.
What's Evernight doing at this time? Oh, he muted it.
Totally.
19.
19. That's a hit for sure. That's one of the 10 NPCs I did not put in this combat initiative.
That's okay. She should be saving her strength for the real fight.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. I just club him with the pommel
How
of the
much?
sword, like using the guard, almost like brass knuckles, doing 10 damage.
Yeah, you see this guy trying to run past you, and he just immediately just drops. You just knock this guy out as he tries to run away.
Yeah, you just see like a tooth go flying, and like you don't hear the crunch, but you just like see it, and you can almost hear it, like audiating. But yeah, just knocks him out.
Actually, you just see this knight kind of crumple over right in front of this doorway. And this whole time, you haven't really made too much noise, to be honest. It's just a silence spell, and holding it down for right now. And the second knight sees you strike down his friend, and he just looks kind of almost enraged. He lifts up his blade and tries to strike you down, Ron.
Wasn't that knight didn't have a blade? Oh no, it was the dagger guy. Never mind.
The dagger guy will try to. It's the dagger guy who's still up. Wow, my dice rolls are outstanding. With a roll of a 1, you see this guy try to pull his blade on you, and as he does, for some reason, this is his second weapon he lost, as this dagger just flies out of his hand and just hits a wall inside the barracks. And for his next action, he'll try to slam you on the ground, Ron.
All right, athletics or acrobatics?
Yep.
Okay. Acrobatics. 15.
15 will not do it with a 24. Again, this
geez.
guy just kicks you in the back of the knee. And you kind of collapse on the ground. And make me a DC 10 con check. Not too hard.
19.
All right. You manage to keep your concentration up, but you see this guard run past you into the barracks.
Shit.
And the only person in his way is little old Olo over here. You said you were
He has
like
a
20
great
feet.
sword, right? His hands. He has his own great sword.
Yes. He's kind of like cradling it like you would cradle a child.
And this guy kind of just gets right up in Olo's face, and that'll end his turn. You just see this knight kind of towering over you, which pretty much everything towers over you, but what do you do, Olo?
It's not my turn. I think it's Rom's turn, isn't it?
Didn't Rom just go?
No, he had a reaction. That was his reaction. That wasn't his actual turn.
That was the knight's turn.
The knight's a nice one. Have the like criminals gone?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
shot their arrows.
Yeah,
And it'd
Rom-
probably be
Rom's-
me then.
Whoever's after the knights.
Oh, yeah, it would be you, Uthal.
Yeah, it was Uthal.
Because I'm right at the bottom, so.
You'd be surprised how far you are not from 11. But yeah,
So, yeah, I'm gonna. Uthal will try and pick himself back up and just bleeding profusely. He's gonna run in after that knight and try and club him on the back of the head with the pommel of his sword. And roll both my attacks. Okay, I think that 12 it may be a 19. Yes,
it's a
it
hit.
is indeed a 19. Look at that. Right.
That's right. You have +4 from strength, +3 from proficiency.
Yep. Plus D10. Yay! He takes 13, 19 damage.
You club this guy in the back of the head, and he staggers, just falling down on the ground. You see him kind of brace himself up on one hand. This guy is like on the edge of consciousness here. And Sergeant Evernight kind of responds, and you see her just kind of reactively just kind of swipe at him with the hilt of her blade, trying to drop this guy. I mean, what are the odds of her botching too, right?
Pretty good.
Okay.
By proximity, everyone allied with us rolls terribly.
So
Yeah,
this guy tries
she-
to. He raises his hand to try to call for help, and Evernight just clubs him with the blade, and he drops down unconscious.
Like paladins, like The opposite of paladins.
All right. Olo would kind of toss the greatsword onto a one of the pallets, and he would pull out a pair of manacles to manacle this guy.
I look around for a closet.
You don't see any closets here per se. It's kind of like a big open room, and there's foot lockers. Obviously, you can't stuff one of these guys in a foot locker. But I mean, there's blankets. I mean,
I'm gonna take their whistles and
okay.
their weapons from them, and then manacle the other one.
And Sergeant Evernight looks at you, and she looks impressed. She says, "Wow, you guys actually got manacles. That's good to hear."
Yep. I got more than one pair, man.
Yeah, I actually have 2.
Mm-hmm.
How many missions did that take for you to get? She kind of
I had
smiles.
them.
I think this is the first one.
Yeah.
This is the first time you ever manacled somebody? We didn't know proper procedure?
Wow. Can't speak for Uthal, but he usually brings the manacles. So.
All right, so you guys are going to, what are you going to manacle the guys? You take their equipment.
Take too long to take off all the armor, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna quickly cast some Cure Wounds on myself.
I'll let you do it. You got plenty. I won't say
Yeah.
plenty of time, but you guys will have a limited amount of time. What do you?
I'm gonna use a 2nd level spell slot so I can roll 2 ones instead of just 1. Was it D8?
2d8 plus wisdom.
Oh, hey, look at that. So that's 15 altogether.
Okay.
15. Hey, I'm pretty high up actually now. What's that? 33, 43. So now I've only lost altogether 6.
All right, so you quickly heal yourself, and you see Dakar run up, and his men run up behind you.
I'd hold up my hand just to wait a second, and I'd ask Olo to have his familiar check for where she is.
Okay.
In the
Yeah,
building.
so Olo would go, okay. And he'd go, George, come on. And he would come up out of this little pouch on his hanging from his shoulder, and he'd whisper it to him, but all they would hear is and he twitches his nose, but he's actually talking to him in Rat, and he'll settle down.
You can tell it's kind of almost like a rectangular room, although you do note that this room is a little bit nicer than the other rooms. You can almost see little, not vents because they don't have vents here, but they have better ventilation here. You see maybe your rat could kind of sneak up in the roof a little bit if you wanted to kind of go above, or you could try to sneak up on the door and take a closer look.
That would be a great idea. He would, Olo would hand, he probably couldn't reach it, so he hands the rat up to Uthal, and he goes, "It's okay, George. Uthal's our friend." And George will like kind of run up onto Uthal's shoulder so that he can kind of lift him up into the vent.
And I don't know the exact rules for your. I'm guessing it's your familiar or.
Yeah, it's my familiar. Can I see through its eyes if I concentrate?
I believe you can.
Okay, so that's what they'd see. Once it hits the vent, they would see Olo just kind of rock on his feet, and he would just kind of start to drool a little bit, and you would see his eyes would kind of roll back, and when they roll back forward, they're not their normal irises and pupils, but it's like this green, this deep emerald green, the whole eye, and he's gonna look through.
George starts running through these vents, maybe a little bit quietly if you can, and he's looking about, and it's a bit confusing. You see, it's not as clean as you would expect it to be. You see what looks like animal parts. Give me a nature check. See if you know what's up here.
I got a 12.
With the 12, it looks like animal sheds. I'm not quite sure what kind of sheds they are, but George kind of keeps continuing. And as he continues, you hear a very, very strange sound out of George's ears. It sounds familiar, but like you haven't heard it in a long time. This animal, maybe it's been dormant for a while.
Okay, George, time to come back, buddy. Time to
And
come back.
before that can happen here, you recognize it as it's like a buzzing sound, and here's a little encounter you were not expecting. Your rat, he gets to roll initiative.
Oh no!
What's his total?
I have no idea. I don't have stats on a rat. I have it right here.
You rolled a 2, right?
Yeah, I got it's low.
They're
Really
like
low.
1 health.
Yeah, they're not strong.
Oh, the good news is what he's fighting is not very strong. The problem is you're in the 1 hit point death club over here.
He is a giant rat. He has 7 hit points.
Oh, he's a giant rat. Okay.
It's a giant rat for sure.
Giant rat, what the fuck?
It's a big ass rat if he's a giant rat.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I imagine it would
And I'm
be
pretty sure he has 1.
Yeah. He does 1 damage as well. It's fantastic.
Hey,
It's better than me. You know.
exactly.
I know you weren't expecting this, so ooh. Okay. So he sees what looks like almost like a swarm of wasps fly at him, and as he tries to turn away, 4 of these wasps just sting out at him. And he dodges 2, but cannot dodge the other 2. And you just hear this pain screech in the vents as your pet tries to flee, and you just can sense his body give out on him as he keels over. And I
Yeah.
guess he would puff into smoke. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Familiar.
He would actually dry up like leaves do when they fall from a tree.
That's
So
right.
he dries up, and then he turns into dust and just would. And then Olo's eyes would turn back normal, and he'd be like, and he would just say, "Wasps, wasps in the vents. They got poor George."
And as you say this, you see what looks like a small swarm of wasps exit the vents, and I guess the 15 of you would kind of look up, and you just see it. There's just a little wasp swarm. They're not too dangerous, but each of you roll me a perception check. No,
I got a crit.
a crit.
Yep.
Through the
22.
vents. Through the vents, you hear sound of magic. Not quite sure what the magic is. It's very strange. Olo maybe could figure it out, but he didn't hear it. And the swarm of wasps, they're no longer wasps. You see them contort and magically change, and instantly you see all 10 of these wasps turn into giant wasps. Some strange magic spell being cast. And the 15 of you seem like you're surrounded. And we're going to keep the same initiative as before. But we'll just contest this to see which side gets to start off here. Let's say Rom, roll me a flat d20.
Okay. I got a 1.
All right. Well, sorry to say, 1's not going to beat what they rolled. So we'll start off at. Let's get rid of these guys out of the initiative that are out of combat. Okay. These 10 wasps immediately just buzz around. These deadly-looking monsters just lunging in for the kill. We'll do 1 attack on each of you guys.
No.
Olo, 12. Rom, 12. Uthul, 13. Obviously, those are all misses, right?
Yep.
one on Dakar. Ooh, that's a hit. And on Evernight, that is not a hit. Dakar takes. Luckily, Dakar's a dwarf, so this shouldn't hurt too bad. Oh shit. So you see Dakar gets stung, and then there's 5 more of these wasps left. So let's see. Oh shit! So these wasps kind of just come down on your allies, and 2 of the wasps miss, but the other 3 just sting into your party of bandits, and these bandits just they obviously are not digging this here. Let's see if any of them can survive the stings. All right, 2 of these bandits that are with you immediately just drop dead. The poison stings just instantly killing these guys. So you guys are down to 8 bandits here. And up next in the initiative is Uthul. You see 10 of these wasps. Just trim your numbers already down 2 more. And you guys are just surrounded in this barracks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start stabbing around violently, trying to like skewer these things out of the air.
All right, go for it.
Can I just ask something real quick? How far are we to the door?
Like the door to her office?
Yeah.
About 20 feet away.
Ola would yell quickly as he's kind of trying to fend off his thing, just as a free action. He would yell, "Just run to the door!" And
we can
I don't know if anyone's
see
gonna
through
do
the
it.
office, right?
It's a dark. It's a glass window, but it's like pitch black in there.
So I'm probably not even in there. But anyway, I'm going to stab at these things.
Get 2 strikes.
Hey, it's like a 26 and a 23.
All right, go for it.
And are these things? Do these things count as beasts?
Yes.
Yeah. I actually use my thingy then. Preferred enemy. Right. 10 plus. Okay. All right, so that's one of them. So that's a total of 11 plus. It's like 18 damage altogether.
All right, the first strike hits this wasp, and you're surprised it does not die with 1 hit. But with your second strike, you pop this wasp out of the sky, and you guys quickly find yourselves down to 9 wasps. And part of the back of your mind hopes that you can kill all these wasps before they kill all your bandits, but you never know, right? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. I think he trying to like think back and see like what he knows about wasps. He's trying to see if they've got any weaknesses you can remember other than just like stabbing them, where they're like afraid of fire or anything.
The only thing you can think of is they attack with poison.
Okay. Yeah, well, I definitely know to have this poison. I'm sure like those like bandits' bodies are like you can see like the poison through their veins or something.
Oh, for sure. You see these guys are not liking life right now.
All right.
And you see Evernight pulls out her this long-bladed, crisp-looking blade, and she chops one of these wasps out of the sky. And we'll move up to Dakar. And with that, see him pull out his weapon, and his weapon is a little bit nicer than what you guys have seen before. He pulls out this dwarven-looking runic blade. You can see dwarven letters magically kind of inscribed onto this blade. And he just smirks as he just takes wide sweeping arcs and just slices into these bugs. And you can tell just by the way he attacks, this is a powerful fighter. And both of his strikes are just square right on the money. The first strike just instantly killing one of these bugs. The second strike just cutting another of these bugs in half as he just kind of looks proud of himself. And Rum, back up to you here.
All right. So I'm guessing the silence wore off, or is it still up?
At the door it is. Did you get hit?
No.
No?
No.
It doesn't fill up this whole barracks. The barracks makes a lot of noise.
Okay, so it's already like noisier and stuff now.
In the office it's really noisy. Outside nobody hears anything.
Okay. I'm gonna dispel silence, and I'm gonna use Flame Blade on the closest two wasps.
Okay, go for it.
Wasps. 23.
It's a hit.
All right, first one takes 3, 11.
All right, you see this wasp kind of just light on fire.
And the one next to him takes 8.
Right, you see both these wasps look horribly damaged, but they're actually still alive, much to your surprise.
All right, well.
And then you see these 8 bandits are just freaking out. They're just surrounded by all these super deadly bugs, and they just start swiping out. And surprisingly, 4 actually managed to hit the other. Actually, 5 of them hit. And the 2 bugs that you hit kind of just immediately just crap out and die. And then the other bandits managed to kill a 3rd wasp. And almost as quickly as this battle has started, you guys are down to 3 wasps left here.
Cool.
And these wasps are kind of swarming around. One will take an attack at Uthal.
Olo didn't have a chance to go.
Skip you? I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Olo is just going to snap his fingers, and it's going to be that Lavender Eldritch magic, and he's just going to fire 2 Eldritch blasts at the one that's on him, and it's going to be at disadvantage because he's in melee. 10?
10 is not going to do it.
Okay. And 15.
That one will do it.
All right. So I'll hit it for 8.
8 damage. You just hit this bug, and it just kind of pops into smoke as you just evaporate it. And then we still have 2 wasps left. You guys have somewhat surprisingly managed to kill most of these wasps pretty easily, actually. And the wasp attacking Uthal, you just see him lunge at you and try to sting you. Wow, my rolls are on fire. Another net 1. This bug flies, hits the wall, falls on the ground, is completely confused. And then you see another wasp just kind of run over and sting the already stung guard. I'm sorry, not guard, bandit. And he just immediately kills over dead. And with that, the 7 bandits are left. And I'll just say, just for the sake of expediency, all 12 of you that are still alive can kill 2 bugs almost just freely at this point. As you guys just kind of clean them up, you just start stomping out these bugs.
All right.
I heard magic coming from behind the vent upstairs. I think it's one of the.
Wait, is there an upstairs here? Is there an upstairs here?
No, there's like a vents in the ceiling.
Oh, okay, great. So Olo is just going to quickly say a magical incantation and wave his hand at the door in front of us. And if it's not locked, it'll swing open, whether it swings in or swings out.
You just hear, you're just doing the open door, right? Not unlock?
No, I'm actually just doing a cantrip, so if it won't do anything if the door is locked.
All right, you'll see the door try to swing open, but it's locked.
And that's all Olo was trying to figure out was if the door was locked.
And as you
check
do
the
that,
guards for keys. Good.
and as you do that, you are surprised. You hear a noise on the other side of the door, and you hear it unlock.
Olo's going to run and hide, like, quickly. He's going to say, oh shit, and run behind Uthal, like in between his legs.
All right. Well, you could try to open the door now. It seems to have unlocked. Somebody unlocked it for you.
Uthal already is his crossbow and aim it at the door before if Ola's going to try and open it. Ready just like to fire through.
Yeah, so he would kind of lean around and he'd do the same thing.
The door opens.
Swing the door open.
The door opens, and you just see a pitch black room. Do any of you have dark? I think only Ram has dark vision, right?
Damn it!
I
I almost took Devil's Sight as a invocation, but I didn't.
I took the spell. I'm considering. Is it worth using it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast it. I think it's not a concentration. I think it lasts for like.
I think it lasts for an hour or something, or maybe 8
lasts for an
hours.
hour. It's one of those.
You cast dark vision on yourself.
Yes.
Right. You cast dark
It's like
vision,
60 feet.
and you kind of look inside, and you see this very elaborate, lavish-looking office room. You just see this big, heavy, thick-wooded desk. You guys have actually been in this office once, I believe, to speak with her.
Yep.
And kind of knowing why you're here, you take a better look at it this time. And it's just the most solid oak table. You see these fancy drawings on the wall, paintings. You even see a nice sculpture or two. And you just see just masses of paper on the desk. And kind of from the darkness, you don't see, you can see in the dark. You have to imagine maybe she's hiding somewhere. And you just hear her voice, and she says, why don't you come on in? The water is nice and warm.
Ola would just look up at Uthal and say, "Is there water in there?"
I promise I won't bite.
Right.
Better hurry up and get in there, Uthal. And he pats you on your back, and you just feel like wired all of a sudden. Like you're just shaking, like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's a great spell. Haste.
And you have +2 AC, you have double speed, and
Yep.
you have an extra attack.
Well,
And advantage on dex.
yep. Just sort of shrugs. I guess someone has to do it. And he's just gonna like run in there, heroically charge in just by himself. Hopefully, the other guys will follow.
Can I ask real quick? Is it magical darkness?
It's just a really dark room. From what you can tell, there's no light source into this office. But it's like pitch black in there.
Oh.
Uthal, you run in there, just blade out,
Yep.
and you kind of charge into the room. And as you kind of enter this dark room, you kind of look around, and you just kind of hear her almost monologuing to you a bit. She says, "Do you know what kind of weapon I use?"
A sharp one.
Hey, can I just? I just want to say something before you guys start this monologue, because I want to let you know what Olo's doing while Uthal is having this kind of exchange. Olo is lighting all the pallets in this barracks on fire.
Okay.
He's got his tinderbox out. He's like,
Oh jeez.
Oh, this is a good end. Well,
All right. So you're kind of lighting all these fires, and she.
well, once I get one lit, I'm gonna take like the straw and the pallet and throw it over onto another one and just light them that way. Just get a good old southern barbecue going.
Yeah, and as you say that, as you start doing that, you kind of hear her almost like smiling, almost just happy to be there. She says, I just couldn't carry this weapon around. my advisors said it would draw too much attention. So I guess I don't need this toy any longer. And you kind of get the sense that whatever weapon she was holding when you guys met her, some just elaborate, very decorative looking great weapon of some sort. She tosses it out of the darkness right to your feet. And Uthal, you kind of recognize the direction where this came from. It came from the other side of her desk. And as she stands up, you see the most hideous weapon you've ever seen. She's holding this just absolutely massive looking triple-headed flail. And she says, "My weapon was a gift from my God. What is your weapon?" And I give you about 2 seconds to reply before we're gonna roll for that initiative.
Oh, mine's a gift from a friend. And then, yeah, roll initiative, please. Please roll higher than a 1. That'd be great. I want to kill this bitch so hard. I did roll higher than a 1.
Hooray!
You would think playing a class that gives you advantage on your initiative roll,
Doesn't
you would
matter,
have
man.
freaking.
That's a. Oh my god. Gee,
That is wow checks. I mean, Harry.
I love this game so much. Oh,
This is a humbling game. We should thank Joe.
This
very
is
much.
actually like one of my favorite games. Oh god.
All right, so let me go through you guys' initiatives here. Rom, what is your initiative?
17 for me.
All right, and what is your initiative, Uthal?
7 total.
So good at rolling. And
The one
Olo.
guy, 15. The one guy that should be rolling high.
I'm so fucked.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna light one pallet, and then on my turn, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
For sure.
Sit on it and end the suffering. Oh.
All right, let me see what we got here. Wasps are dead, so they can hop out of initiative. All right, so we'll go hop into initiative here. We'll start with Uthal because you charged in. Actually, it'd be between you and Samantha since you're staring out from one another. Okay.
Okay.
So Samantha, you see her. She beats you to the punch. She kind of smiles a bit. And she kind of just grins. You're going to come in alone. It's rather brave of you. And you see her lift back this weapon, ready to just strike you down. And almost just instinctively, you see her kind of jump to the side, jumping out of view of the doorway. So everyone standing outside can't get a clear shot at her. And you just see her raise this blade. It's not even a blade. You just see this triple-headed flail, and each one just looks more horrifying than the other. One of them is just terrifying. One looks like almost like the skull of a human, just kind of warped and maddened. The other one almost just looks like the most molten slag thing you've ever seen, and you're just mortified almost. And you see her raise her blade, but before she does, you're going to see Sergeant Evernight charges in and takes a stand next to you. And you see her, she has this bladed Chris out as she gets ready to attack. And Uthal, what are you going to do as you see her pull out this weapon?
He is going to just steady himself, focus in on her, so we try and just do his best to ignore that terrifying fucking flail. Cast the Hunter's Mark with his bonus action, and then just stab at her, just swipe as quickly as you can.
Go for it.
So I think I get just one extra attack from haste, right?
Yeah, so you can make 3 attacks.
Yeah. 2,
3
3.
attacks.
All right, so that's a. Oh god, he's probably not going to hit. A 19, a 21, and a definite miss.
A 19 actually is enough to hit.
Oh, nice. So, okay, it's,
You see her, she's wearing a very ornate looking full plate armor, but as you strike it, it doesn't make a metal sound. It sounds almost, as a ranger, you know the sound. It's the sound of Darkwood.
huh. Right. And then D6 is. Or is it D8 for Hunter's Mark? I can't remember.
It's a D6.
6. Alright. Okay, so that's 5, 7, 12, 14.
You get an extra D8 for her being injured on the second hit.
Oh, do I? Okay, I'll add that in. Oh, I fucked up. My god. What?
You had 14. Just add a D8 and plus your strength.
Yeah. I was on 14, but the fuck just broke. 19 plus 8 is 27 damage.
You just club into her 3 times, just chopping into her armor. And normally you'd expect your blade to just slice through lesser objects and armors. But this Darkwood is incredibly dense. And it's like trying to chop down a tree with a sword. And although you do a lot of damage to her, she kind of winces and just kind of grins. That damage only seeming to make her more excited for battle. And with that, you see Dakar runs in. And he kind of just charges in his dwarven runic blade, ready to strike her down, as you see Sergeant Evernight lunge into attack. But as you do, you see her swipe down her triple-headed flail, 1 flail at each of you. And I'll let you pick your number, 1, 2, or 3. Uto.
I think 1 is my like spirit number, so I'm gonna go for 1.
All right. Oh, wow, I missed that roll. That sucks. Okay. Second maul coming down on, on Sergeant Evernight. Wow, my rolls, no, 4 and a 3. There we go. The third one strikes down on the car. And as this thing strikes him, you can tell whatever is with this flail is just maddening. As you just see his eyes go wide with horror that you've never seen before. This big, tough drug dealer almost seeming to lose his shit. Let's see if he does lose his shit, though. Yeah. This guy just starts screaming at the top of his lungs like he just saw the boogeyman getting eaten by the devil. And you're not quite sure what's the deal with Dakar, but I'm guessing you'll find out soon enough. Okay. What's your dexterity mod, Rom?
3.
All right, you get to go next.
All right. Magic missile. Pew.
You hopped out of the way of the doorway. You're gonna have to come in the room if you want to fight her.
All right, I go up to the doorway and go where I can shoot from while having some cover from her.
Okay,
All right.
go for it.
11.
11 damage. Yeah.
Yeah. Magic missile.
All right. Describe doing a little bit of damage to her.
Yeah, he just like throws out his hands and you just go almost like a shotgun blast.
See all these strikes just land into her body, and she kind of just shakes a little bit. And as she does, you kind of hear her kind of she looks at you, and you almost see a snarl spread across her dark face. She lets out this just feral sounding howl. "Arr!" And as she says this, you kind of look around. Uto, luckily for you, you can see in the dark. You kind of look at each corner of the room. 2 back walls in the corner and the 2 side walls in the corner. You see what looks like secret passages, secret doors open up. And your heart sinks. You see 4 gnolls hop out of the walls, and they just immediately charge all of you. And these aren't like just savage gnolls. The mere presence of Samantha has made their eyes just go furious and insane. And you could tell whatever is going on with them is just horrifying. And we'll do 1 attack on each person in the room, or 1 on each person in the room. So let's see here. We'll do the first 4 on Rom. So you see this note. Yeah.
I don't know if this makes a difference, but I'm like at the door, like kind of shooting in, like I'm taking cover and like.
Oh, they're coming from all directions in this room, just kind of circling in. And one group of guys kind of is off to the side because she ran away from the doorway. All right, so you see this Gnoll, his eyes going just shaking with fury. He bites at you. And what's your armor class right now?
It's a 20 with the blade song.
All right, with blade song up. Okay. So the first strike, it's a miss. The second strike, almost like you're just, what is going on here? He tries to bite at you a second time. You dodge that, and you're just like, holy shit, this guy's fast. And as he bites at you that second time, you look down, and you see he has 2 of these short swords in his hands. And he swipes up at you in a double motion at the same time. And that'll be 22 and a 17 to hit you.
Yeah. 22 hits.
All right. The third strike out of the 4 hits you right across the chest for it's not so bad. It's, oh my god, 3 damage.
Do you need to make a con save though?
Huh?
For the concentration.
He makes
Oh
me.
shit! Don't botch it, dude.
All right.
This would not be a good place to botch it.
11.
Yes.
11 is barely a pass. Kind of wince a bit as this blade sticks into you.
Did 3.
And then you'll see the 4 attacks on Uthul.
My AC is currently 21.
21.
Yeah.
All 4 of these strikes go against you, and with the speed of the haste, it's almost like this creature is attacking you in slow motion. You dodge all 4 strikes. You're like surprised for the first time in your life you dodged 4 attacks in a row.
Didn't get hit. This is crazy.
And then you see the next 4. My rolls are fucking terrible, by the way. Against Dakar, 1 hits, and against Evernight. Oh fuck! She's about to get shreked a little bit. She gets hit and crit. All right, so you see Baradar gets cut up for another. Shit. All right. All right. Yeah. So you just see this horde of gnolls descend upon you. You see your allies getting just chopped up, but they're still alive, clearly. So we'll head up to the next person here in initiative order, which is the bandits, I guess.
Oh, they were faster than Olo?
Yeah. Your initiative was 15.
Yeah. Okay.
So you see these bandits kind of just pile into this room. There's 7 of them in here. And they look just horrified at the scene of these vicious-looking gnolls and they're just like, I don't want to be here anymore. But regardless, they still try their best. You see them just all lift blades, and to your surprise, they managed to hit a few times. And even though they land 3 strikes on these gnolls, none of the gnolls go down. As you see this horde of bandits just try in vain to kill even one of these gnolls. And up next is Olo.
So is the room lit now?
Does somebody make fire in here?
Well, I was just wondering because the bandits ran in there. I didn't realize they could all see in the dark.
Yeah, I guess there's just enough light. I guess you guys are sparking
coming from the doorway or something.
I guess.
Anyway, so proud of himself for starting this fire.
Yeah, you made a bunch of fire in the hallway outside. So.
No, it's not a hallway. Isn't it a room?
Or I mean, you made a bunch of fire. I guess.
Right.
A little bit.
Yeah, because no one ever waits for Olo to tell his plan. Everyone always rushes in. So Olo is going to just leave the fire going, and he's going to quickly make a quick incantation. I just have to see what it is. Yeah, so he pulls out a little bit. There's like this little green worm that if it was darker, you would see that it was glowing. And he crushes it in his hand. And as he crushes it, he rubs it together and he goes, Usatas, Usatas. And as he does, these 4 lavender lamps start to glow around him and they get a little bit brighter. And then he moves forward. And as a bonus action, I'm going to move those 4 glowing lanterns into the room.
Okay.
And Olo's not actually in the room yet, but he's going to move them into the corners of the room so it can light up the room for everybody to see.
The light kind of cleans up the whole room. You guys can all see that you kind of see the doors that these gnolls climbed out of kind of latch back in completely seamlessly. You would not have known unless you had extensively looked over this room. And with that, we're back to the top of initiative here, which I believe is Samantha. Again, she looks at the 3 of you. And
isn't Uthul up? He goes after me. Uthul's on a 7. I was on a 15.
I believe Uthul.
He went first because he ran in.
The initiative order is staggered. I started with Samantha, so you actually were going later in the initiative here. It's just an order. Uthul is right after Samantha.
Oh, gotcha. So now he's in the initiative normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which I didn't start at the highest. I started with Samantha because she got higher than Uthul. Those 2 started the combat. I'm a little bit unorthodox, I understand. All right, so Samantha raises her wicked-looking flail, and pick a number 1 through 3 again.
I'm gonna go with 2.
All right, let's hope it doesn't hit you. Fuck, my rolls suck. What's your armor class right now? 21.
21.
All right, the attack on. We'll go with Dakar gets hit. Fuck, Dakar's not looking too good. All right, so Sergeant Evernight, and you dodge out of the way, but Dakar gets hit by a different flail this time, and as it hits him, you can almost hear some mental shriek just drilling into his head, and whatever it is, you can sense it. It's like psychic damage, something just tearing at his brain, and let's see if he's still standing. Actually, it's a lot of damage. Holy shit. I'm sorry, this is about to have a bunch of house cleaning here in a second. Oh shit. You see Dakar kind of fall down on one leg as you can just see him grabbing at his head as he's just screaming uncontrollably. Whatever happened, you can sense he's on the verge of death. You just see blood just oozing out of his nose. He seems to be superficially wounded everywhere else, but you just see oozing of blood out of his face. And then up next, you see Evernight just tries to make some sort of headway against this beast real quick. All right, she hits once, and then, as is often the case in this combat, you see her drop her blade, flies across the room, and she misses horribly.
That's
And
like
she
3
looks
in this game.
looks a bit meek at that sight, and she does very not impressive amount of damage. So, all right. So you guys see Samantha. She looks a little bit more injured. Not as much as you guys were probably hoping, though. And it's up to Dakar now. And Dakar is just screaming. You don't know what he's even thinking at this point. And give me a 1 or a 2, Uthor. Pick a number.
Oh shit! I'm gonna go back to my good old friend 1.
All right. You see Dakar just screams. You can see his brain is just busted right now. And he lifts his dwarven runic blade up, and he just swings at Sergeant Evernight as hard as he can. Oh, wow. An 18, she manages to just barely block it at the last second, almost stumbling as he knocks at her. And then with his second strike, I'll roll it here. Second strike, you see him turn and swipe at you, Uthor. 5 to hit.
What was that? Sorry.
You see Dakar is just lost his mind right now. He's just attacking aimlessly. Whatever happened to him, his brain is broken right now. And it's gone some sort of madness about him. And you take 10 damage from his great axe.
Ooh. Brutal.
And then as he kind of locks the blade into you, you can see his eyes kind of return to normal as he pulls the blade out, and he's like, he has just the biggest look of confusion on his face. And then I believe up next is Rom, right? You had 17 initiative here. You're muted, Rom.
So I have a guy on me. If I were to cast Lightning Bolt in a line, try to hit the guy on me and the boss, who else would I hit?
To be honest, the guy on you is from the side where the group isn't. The group's on one side, so the guy hitting you is on the other side. You couldn't line up a shot. I mean,
I can't like do like a weird kind of crab walk around him and kind of angle myself.
no. I mean, you could, but there's no clean shot you're gonna get at her. You'd hit at least one ally.
Okay.
It's just a giant melee of people swinging around in front of you.
Okay. Then I am going to cast. I'm going to cast Levitate on Samantha.
You're gonna cast Levitate on Samantha?
Yeah, and I'm going to make her. I'm going to force her to rise to the ceiling if she fails a con save.
Con save? Okay. What's the DC?
15.
Oh, you see her starting to float.
Yeah, she just like.
Oh, that's another concentration thing, by the way. To be ending haste.
Oh, God! Fuck.
If
All
you
right.
do it, it's gonna end it on him.
I'll just. God, everything's concentration. I'm just gonna strike this guy in front of me.
Play a paladin. Almost every spell for a paladin is
Everything's
concentration.
concentration.
You get like one bonus action at like level 3 spell.
Yeah, all the good ones have ranges are concentration as well.
Yeah. 13 to hit.
13 to hit is actually a hit.
Okay.
You just doing a green flame blade or what?
Yep.
All
There's
right.
nobody next to him, but does extra damage.
Actually, 13 to hit.
13.
He actually dodges out of the way with 13, barely. You kind of swipe out at this guy. He kind of sidesteps, blocks it with his 2 blades. Okay.
Yeah, shit. All right.
This guy will come at you again. What am I doing? I'm trying to roll in this shit. All right. He's going to swipe out at you 4 times, Rome. Armor class?
20 right now.
20? All right. It's a miss, and a 20.
Okay.
So he
gonna
bites
take
at you
it.
twice, and then his third attack, which is a short sword strike, tries to sweep right across your chest. You take it, right?
Yeah.
And you take 1d6 plus... Take 8 damage this time. As this blade cuts across you. Give me a con check.
10.
All right. You barely hold onto the spell. Uthal, you can almost feel yourself slowing down for a second, but he manages to keep the spell going. And with that, you see the other 3 gnolls kind of look. They turn around, and with that, they start chopping into. Oh my God, I rolled 40, 20, and the highest roll was an 8. God damn, I am impressively horrible at my rolling. Okay, well, with that, the second guy manages to bite down and kill one of the bandits, dropping them down to 6 bandits. And then the other 2 gnolls will attack bandits as well, trying to clean up the rest of your guys' nukes for the most part. And, oh my God, these rolls are so good. 1, 2... You see them kill 2 more of your bandits, dropping your total bandits down to 4 bandits. As you just see these creatures just jumping in and just ripping apart these bandits that are trying to help you out. And it is just the most horrifying thing you've ever seen. And almost as soon as that happens, these 4 bandits that are left are just absolutely horrified. And they just pull out their short swords and they try their best to do anything, to be honest. And with that, you see them all 4 strike out, and the creature right in front of you gets cut down and it drops dead. And you just kind of let out the sigh of relief, and we head over to Olo.
Perfect. As Olo's kind of standing in the doorway, horrified, because he is horrified right now, just by everything. Does one of these dog things look like it hasn't been injured by one of his companions or his allies?
Yeah, 2 of them look pretty much uninjured, and one of them
All
is
right.
injured.
So the one that doesn't look injured, Olo kind of looks at that one and he starts to slowly kind of chant, and he says, "Oh shit! What the fuck's her name? My bad. I had it just a second ago. Bellarith, his patron. He goes, Bellarith, give me strength," and he starts kind of hopping from one foot to another, and he's going like this with his hand as he does, and he starts going, Ayatash, Ayatash, and he's just kind of hopping from one foot to. Looks kind of silly if it wasn't for the fact that this magic starts to swirl around his head, and then he points at that one, and when he does, it has to make a wisdom save, DC 15.
Yeah, it's a fail.
So these thorns, the magic kind of whiffs over, and as it does, it just twists around. And rather than learn how to speak. Crown of Madness is what I cast. But instead of iron thorns, it's like briars and ivy, and it just twists around its head and just wraps around it, and its eyes just go like that same green that Olo had a second ago.
Okay.
That's my action. I'm gonna stop right there.
All right. Up next is Samantha, and she just looks at the 3 of you, just snarls, "Is that it?" And as she says that, you see a wash of magic come over her form as she heals herself.
Nope. Because as a reaction, I am
Okay.
going to counterspell.
I was about to do the same thing, Lionel.
So all of a sudden, the magic is gone. As Olo goes like this, and there's this glow of magic in his hand, and as he opens it up, it just goes off, and he's like, "Huh, never done that before."
And she smiles at your hubris. She says, "You can heal with just a word, but I can kill you with my own hands." And Uthul, her first strike will be against you. Again, I would just do you first. Right, that'll be another +9. Oh, fuck, Uthul. That's a nat 20.
Oh god, I'm so dead.
I don't know what your max health is, but you might die.
Let's see.
Let me see if the other two are going to be okay here.
His pain train is about to hit. Oh boy.
What's your max health? I'm just curious.
So my max health is 49.
You definitely have a chance of dying right now.
What?
You can see the one that hit the car and made blood just spray out of his nose just hit you. All right, the one on Evernight, 19. That's a hit on her, and on Dakar is a miss. Let me do Evernight's first. She'll take. Yours is the one that's kind of fucked up here. Oh my god, she's almost unconscious actually. Yeah, actually, as Evernight gets hit, you see her body lock up and she cannot move. She's paralyzed. And then, fuck, dude, I feel really bad, dude. So
Okay.
you know, the Flail of Madness does 4d10 psychic damage
Jesus.
on a normal hit.
Okay, I could possibly die here. Pretty badly. I'm only on 33 HP at the moment.
Just need to believe.
Yeah, but in order to be killed outright, you would have to be put.
I'd have to take like 100
They would have to
damage.
do like 70 damage.
Yeah.
What's your hit points at right now?
33?
All right, 33. She hits you for 61 damage.
Jesus.
Oh shit!
So you said you're 33 hit points right now?
Yeah.
All right, she drops you. I'm going to do negatives just for the sake of this. You're at what, negative 28?
What was it, 61 damage?
Yeah.
Negative 28, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So she hits you across the head, and all you can see is just the picture of your death. You just see her devouring your corpse from outside of your body, and your brain thinks that you're dead at this point, and you just immediately collapse, just completely lifeless on the ground. You're not technically dead yet, but you are just massively bleeding everywhere. There's
Yep.
no hope for you right now. And you just saw Sergeant Evernight locks up. Her body cannot move right now. And on her turn, she just sits there, just petrified, cannot move as well. And then Uthul is obviously unconscious. And all of a sudden, you just notice two out of the three people fighting her just immediately drop. Dakar just growls, and you just see him. He just looks like he's mad. He's just horrified. He doesn't know what to do. And you see him reach into his pocket. He grabs something and he bites into it. Yeah. You just see him rage out, and he just lets out this battle cry.
Share that sunburn, baby.
It ends tonight. And you just see him. His whole body is just trembling, and he just howls and just swings at her twice. Go for it. Hit. You just see him just power striking her twice. His blade just cutting deep. You would be surprised how she's still alive, but somehow she's still alive, just against all logic and reason. But oh my god, you just see her literally just eat 36 damage to the chest from these two strikes into her. and she just kind of coughs up a gout of blood, just spraying it all over the ground. And as she does, you see her kind of look down at all of the blood she's bled on the ground, and she lifts her head, and you just see a smile as you see her teeth that were once white are now just stained red with blood as it just drips off her chin. And she just smiles and says, "You shouldn't have done that." And with that, head up next to Rom.
Oh shit. Okay. How many of the other gnolls are left?
3 nulls left.
One of them, Rom, you would see that twisting wreath of brambles and stuff. The one that
Okay.
Olo has control of.
All right, I want to cast lightning bolt and hit as many as I can.
All right, the one on you is dead, so I could say you could line up a hit on 2 of them.
Including
2 of them.
Samantha?
If you take a shot at Samantha, you'll hit one of your 3 allies. I could roll for her randomly if you want, but there's just
Dan,
3 people on her right now.
Dan, just hit Samantha. We'll worry about the gnolls after. Honestly, we got to take the big bad down.
Yeah, I'll, if I can, I'm going to try to get into a position where I can just hit Samantha then.
She is in melee with who's still
You
up?
just aim over the top of Uthal because he's lying on the ground dead.
I mean, like, everyone's dead, right?
All right, roll a d20 and get above a 5. If you get below a 5 or lower, you'll hit Dakar as well.
Got a 10.
All right, you get a clear shot at her.
She has to make a dex check.
All right,
Or save.
Damn
Yeah,
it!
she
I
just-
should've-
not the
Oh,
most dexterous of people. 18 on the die.
Fucker. Okay.
That's
You see
okay.
her just kind of
You still-
duck out of the way.
Counting. 5.
As you hit her with this lightning bolt, you see glyphs glowing on her armor as she uses her reaction to cast another spell.
All right. Well, half is 19.
19, okay. As you hit her, you see these druidic runes spread across her wooden armor as you see her resist the damage. And with that, she kind of just winces a bit. And that definitely hurt her. But you see her weapon, her mauls, her flails are all crackling with energy now.
Oh, shit.
And up next are the Bone Chewers. Let me roll my 2 first. 18. All right. 1, 2. All right. You see these 3 Bone Chewers. The 2 that are left under her control immediately just clean up and kill the rest of these bandits. You see all these bandits just drop dead. And it's starting to look pretty bleak here. All 10 of these bandits are dead. There are still 3 gnolls up. You're just like, oh my god, everyone's dying. And then, surprisingly, one of these gnolls, what does this gnoll do?
How bad is she looking?
She looks pretty bad, but you know she's tough as shit.
Yeah,
Like, not going to take any shit from anybody.
right.
But she's taken, from what you could tell, like over 100 damage.
Yeah. I'm going to have that gnoll attack one of his buddies.
All right, I'll roll the attacks. D20. Oh, jeez. Not to be that guy, but as normal for my rolls are pretty shit. You see him bite, miss, swipe, miss. His 4th strike, though, cuts into one of these gnolls. And the gnoll kind of is just confused. His friend just chopped into him. And do any of you speak Abyssal?
No.
Nope.
All right, you just see them yelling back and forth in Abyssal. Well, one is yelling at the other one, who's just kind of a zombie right now under your spell right now. And with that, we'll head up to the next person initiative is Olo. You know Samantha's about to strike again.
Oh shoot, that was that's on Olo's turn, I think.
That takes your whole turn to do?
Yeah, I have to use my action to control him.
Okay. On their turn, do they do anything automatically when they're under Crown of Madness? Do they?
He can make another save now that at the end of his turn.
All right, I'll let him do that at the end then. Now he fails. So for your turn, you just kind of control that guy. And you see him attack your friend, and then Samantha kind of looks around, seeing that most of these people are defeated at this point. She kind of sets her attention on Dakar, and she just smiles, just fiendishly. She says, "I know all about your drug." And she'll swipe out at him. First one will be the Flail of Madness, the one he can't resist. All right. Well, I rolled another 20.
Oh, jeez.
Run, Rom, run.
So,
Yes.
and the 10 plus 5. Yeah, so you see Dakar, who just takes 60 damage, more than his max health. He immediately just grabs at his head, and you just see him collapse on the ground, unconscious. And he is down for the count.
Oh, Jesus.
And with that, we'll head up to the next person in initiative. Is Uthal. Give me a death save.
Please
It's 1d10 plus 4d10 psychic damage. And it was a crit.
Oh, it's a
so-
20! I'm back up!
So, you get describe what it looks like. You're still. I'm gonna say you're still at your same hit points, but you are conscious and able to act normally right now. So describe what this looks like. You're literally at negative.
Doesn't it take me back to 1? When you roll a 20?
Yeah, but your injuries are just as bad as before.
Alright.
If you take any damage, you're immediately out again. That's what
Well,
I'm
yeah.
saying. Like literally, even though you rolled in at 20, you still have all those injuries. Your body is literally on the verge of death right now.
Yeah, so it's, like he's probably like, well, while he's dead, he's just seeing this image of just being like torn apart by Samantha's teeth and like claws. That's what he's seeing, and he's just thinking like he just can't fail. Like the spirits are just willing him on, and they're sort of, he sees them like surrounding him while this is all going on. He's like, oh. They're sort of all looking really disappointed, and everyone are like in the room will just see his eyes sort of flicker open and a hand like grasping around this sword. And
At this point, though,
I'm gonna have a jab. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
at this point, she's not even looking at you. She's already defeated all three of you. Her eyes have drifted over to Rom. She's completely unaware of what's just happened. She assumes that you should be dead. She did more damage than enough to kill anything, pretty much.
Yeah.
So whatever you have gotten back up on is just miracle. So you can have advantage on whatever you do to her.
How many attacks do I don't know how death saves work on, like, in terms of getting back up. In terms of what actions I can do.
You can do everything as normal right now.
Is Haze still active?
Technically,
no. Well, I don't know.
I'll say I'll let you have it.
All right.
Technically, he never stopped concentrating. Your heart is still beating just as fast when you're unconscious.
Bleeding out quicker.
Technically, because he's hasted, he would have an attack even if you did have him use his action to recover and come back.
For sure. You can take your 3 attacks though with advantage.
With advantage.
Do it.
I'll just roll.
You also have a bonus action if you want to do anything with that.
I don't think I can do anything with that, to be honest. Okay, here we go.
Hunter's mark, I guess.
Come on!
Oh my god.
Ari, you're killing me, man.
Okay, so that's a 14, a 21, and a 15. Amazing, incredible. So that 21 hits, right?
That definitely hits. But
I'm
you
so good at
could.
this
I'm
game.
saying you could Hunter's Marker as a bonus action.
I think I already did. I do
No,
that?
you-
Oh, I should
you
have taken.
lost
It goes away when you got
You
dropped.
lost that
So
when you
Oh yeah,
when
I
you
would have
walked
never
out.
passed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get
I'll
suspended.
do that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Right. You better hack some damage on. If you
Yep.
don't do some heavy damage, this might be a TPK.
D10. Okay. Okay, so that's
Not bad.
17 damage.
17 damage. You strike into her, and she grits her teeth. She's just confused as you just cut into her back, and she kind of, you can see her legs going kind of quivery, weak, very, very spaghetti, if you will, as she's just barely alive as well. And Dakar is unconscious on the ground, bleeding out. And let me roll for one more time. And up next is, you see, much to your surprise, Evernight was not knocked out. She was paralyzed by the last strike. So barely standing as well, she will lift up her wicked-looking Chris and attack twice. And one strike gets through, stabbing her in the back shoulder. For 1d8 plus 4. 6 more damage. She just kind of groans at that pain, and she just looks more pissed off than anything at that strike. And you know that Samantha is just teetering close at this point. Just so close to just dropping down. And up next is Rom.
Magic missile!
Go for it.
Second level. Just hear him shout, "Go down, you bitch!" And
if the next hit hits you,
11?
11 damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just pepper her body, and you can see the life kind of slipping away. But you just see the blood dripping out of her eyes, and it's almost like this blood gives her a vision. She stares across to you, and you know that she wants to kill you next. And she's barely hanging on at this point, just on the edge of her brief existence here. We'll go with these. You see these 3 bone chewers are left, and the 2 look at the traitors one, and you just see these bone chewers attack one another. So, let me just see 40, 20. Oh shit. Okay, so you just see this one bone chewer just immediately just slaughter the one you mind controlled. But at the same time, the one you mind controlled will attack back.
No, it's actually not going to attack back. I'm not going to do that this round. So it would just get murdered.
Okay, so you see this bone chewer kill the one you mind controlled, immediately drops dead, and there's one bone chewer left. He sees almost everyone is dead. The only person of any consequence left is Rom. You see him run over, and oh jeez, these are some nice
and
rolls.
Olo.
Technically, Olo never actually came into the room.
Olo's like, I'm good, guys, I'm good.
I'm fine. I'm back here.
Right, that's a nat 20,
Oh fuck!
a
Really?
9, a 22, and a 19.
All right. I'll use the shield on the 21.
All right,
I'll
so you
take the
cast up
crit.
this barrier.
So you
block
just
you see these blades just bounce off, and you kind of let out a sigh of relief, only to see the thing you were most afraid of come true, as these disgusting, gnarled-looking gnoll teeth just dig right into your neck, rip out a chunk of your flesh for 8 damage.
Okay.
As you just see this creature cackling, you see the bloodlust in his eyes. You know that you're next on the menu here. Up next is Olo. You see there's 2 bone chewers left, and you see Samantha's almost dead.
Yeah. Olo kind of flashes back really quickly. He flashes back to when he was a much younger halfling, and he remembers this beating he got, and it was terrible. I mean, he was left bloodied and bruised in a gutter by a bully, and ever since that day, he says, "I'll never be bullied again, and I'll not let anybody bully anyone." He looks and he steels himself, and he says, "I'll not let you bully anyone!" And he snaps his fingers, and I'm going to try to hit her with Witch Bolt. No, not Witch Bolt. Sorry. Eldritch Blast.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, 21.
Pew, pew.
And a 20.
Both hit.
Nice. For 10. Oh, shit. Only 10. That's okay. I hit twice. So,
And
yeah,
then
he
so-
says... Yeah, he says that. And what happens?
You hit her, and you just see these blast holes. You see the backside. You can see through her body at this point, and she collapses on the ground. The killing blow seems to have been made, but to your horror, she stands back up on the brink of death itself. You just see she's not even just bleeding at this point. It's just a crimson mask. You know that even if she kills you at this point, it would take quite a bit of magic for her to ever recover from this. She looks around. She sees her 3 targets, the only 3 left. She'll strike out at each of you once. First strike on Uthal.
Can Olo kind of stagger back, like horrified that she got back up?
Oh, you definitely can stagger back.
Okay, that's exactly what he does. He kind of staggers back. There's fire burning behind him. It's starting to smoke is starting to fill this place, and yeah, he kind of staggers back.
All right, let me roll this. You don't want me to roll 2 because that'll probably kill you. So let's see. All right, luckily for you, she's not hitting you with the Flail of Madness or whatever it's called. I need to see here. Making sure this is off.
So you said the haste is still up? I guess I have to roll concentration.
Yeah. You do have to roll
Okay.
concentration.
I think it's a 10 because you only took 8 damage.
13.
Okay, 13.
So the haste is still up on you, Phil.
Okay. All right, first strike against Uthal. What's your armor class?
21.
You see this flail comes right at you. You can't dodge out of the way. It's just too perfect. But at the last second with your haste, you slow time down just enough to step out of the way. And you just don't even know what happened. As you kind of step away from her, you kind of step back and your ankles and knees go weak. You know that you're on death's door at this point. Her second strike is against Sergeant Evernight. Oh my god, these knights. My rolls are just outstanding. It's a miss. Strike against Rom, though, is definitely a hit with a 24.
My AC's 25 because of shield, boy!
Ah, god
Sorry.
damn it.
Does it last for a whole round or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Until his next
Oh,
turn.
shit, yeah.
until the beginning of the next
Nice.
turn.
Fuck. That sucks. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Up next is Sergeant Evernight. She is on the brink of death as well. She'll try to end this fight for you guys. See her miss once, and then with her second strike, she runs. You see her run Samantha through the chest as Samantha kind of clutches at her wound, her eyes going wide as she keels over, seemingly lifeless on the ground. Uthal, you can't rejoice though. You still see 2 of these bone chewers, and you are very damaged at this point. I believe you're up next.
Oh, good. Yep, I'm just gonna wail on these guys in a furious, just attack. I don't think it'll matter if I even cast a Cure Wound on myself, but
Fuck no. It won't.
fuck no, I'm just gonna just wail on these guys as much as possible. Just reckless abandon, right?
Their rolls have been pretty reckless.
Okay, so that's a 26 and a 17.
Yeah, you swing back and you strike down one of these creatures. It falls over dead. And then up next is Rom. You see Dakar is just in a puddle on the ground, just bleeding horribly. But Rom, this looks like it's just you and this bone chewer. And you know that you guys are not doing too well right now.
Okay. I'll cast Chromatic. Is he in melee with me
No.
right now? No? Alright. Chromatic Orb. Ice.
Go for it.
19.
19 to hit? Yeah, that'll hit.
Uh, 16 ice damage.
You see his body kind of freezes. And as he kind of looks at you, you see the ice cracks just shatter as he just lets out this howl and just runs right at you. You know he's on death's door, but he wants to bring you to the depths of hell with him.
Alright. Got one more
Oh,
shield.
these rolls are so
Yeah,
good.
game on.
5, a 9, a 1, and a 7. All 4 strikes miss.
Does his jaw go flying across the room?
You got
The one was
almost
actually on a
roll
short
20.
sword. You see his short sword fly out of his hand. And he's just staring back at you. You see he's confused. His hands are slippery with ice.
Dentures go flying.
Yeah.
Up next is Olo.
All right, so Olo kind of gets himself back under control, and he kind of makes his way to the door, and he says, and he sees that one guy left, so he'll try to get him with Eldritch Blast, but at the same time, he would yell right after. He'd say, "We have to get out of here," and I'll make 2 shots at him. That's a 22 and a 17.
They both hit.
Nice. 11 points of force damage.
11 points.
Yeah.
Describe how you kill him.
It's nothing fancy. It just Olo's not even. He's just panicking, and it just hits him. Boof, boof, and it just kind of like lights up his mouth and like burns his eyes right out. And it's like that pinkish glow of the magic that Olo seems to cast, and then he just kind of. And it's still like trying to grab Rom and try to kill him, because it's just so bloodthirsty. So even as it's dying, it's kind of weakly reaching at Rom, and then it just falls to the ground dead. Then Olo will be like grabbing like the door jamb, and he's like, "We have to get out of here." Realizing the error of him starting that fire was probably not the smartest move.
Yeah, you look behind you, guys. You look behind you, and
Why did you start a
there's
fire?
like a wall of flames behind you.
It was an idea I had. I'm sorry.
You don't get to make ideas.
Hey, we don't have time for this. Let's get out of here.
And as you say that,
He's trying to pull him.
and as you say that, you see the corpse of Samantha kind of starts to almost burn away as you seemingly have defeated her. But
Hell no.
but much to your horror, you see her body starts to almost just subconsciously change and warp. And you realize, obviously, she's been casting these spells, and you know that she's some sort of druid. And as her body is there, you see it twitching, almost seeming to come back to life. But as it does so, you see it almost shapeshift into some strange hyena form as it gets back up, and you can see the feral essence of her form is the only thing left as you see this dire-looking hyena growl at you guys, and you're just awe-stricken. Takes a lunge right at Sergeant Evernote.
Fuck.
Oh, so it's not incorporeal; it's actually corporeal.
Oh, it's corporeal.
Yeah, it's like physical. You can touch it. Harry.
Nope.
It's definitely something for sure.
Okay, yeah. So it's. I thought you were just describing like a spirit leaving, but now
You see her spirit, but it takes a physical
Yeah.
manifestation.
No, I got it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract you from what you're doing. Please don't kill Evernight. She gave me a promotion. Who's going to promote me to sergeant?
And you see her just lunge out and bite down on Evernight's leg, and she just flicks Sergeant Evernight across the room, and you just see her hit the wall, and she goes limp. And you know this creature is not nearly as strong as her previous form. This is just the remaining feral essence within her body taken form. And with that, up next is Uthal. Your body is just telling you to go back to unconsciousness. It tells you that's the only way to survive right now. But you know that'll end in your death.
Yeah, it's not my time. It's stab. Just get this thing out of this. Get this thing out of this plane of existence. Jesus. Right. Many attacks. Oh my god.
Okay. Outstanding.
Crap.
Fucking hell, right. At least one of those hits.
Outstanding.
I'm guessing with a 25.
Outstanding soldier.
Why are you lying to him, man? Those are shitty rolls. He got one good one.
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
Right, so I've got Hunter's Mark on this thing.
No, not anymore.
No?
No, that her. previous
You
form.
can move it to it though,
Yeah.
because it lasts for
I
an
guess
hour
Oh,
could.
okay.
as a bonus action.
Oh, I thought it was just staying on. Okay, she's not damaged, right?
Not damaged.
Okay, cool. Oh my god.
Oh,
Rolls are
man.
outstanding. Oh my
8
god.
damage.
All right. Well, that definitely hurts her, and you can tell this form not nearly as tough as the previous one. Not even close to this.
Oh
Tough.
boy. Oh, is this a beast? Because you said it was a hyena.
It's a spirit beast. It's not really a beast.
Oh, okay.
Up next is Rum.
All right. Scorching Ray.
Oh shit! Tried and true. Missed all 3 times.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. You just hear from the doorway, heal. Fuck.
She absorbs the fire and heals.
you serious?
No.
Son of a bitch.
That was twice as Dan's like, you serious?
12 and 11 and 24.
To hit.
Yeah.
12 and 11 miss.
Damn it.
24 hits.
Okay. 11 fire damage.
She lets out a yelp as you see her fur smoldering right now. You could tell about to die too. And with that, we go back to Olo.
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna do it. Yes. Does a 15 hit?
15 does hit.
Cool. So he's going to do total all up 19 points of Eldritch Blast damage to it. And he's going to yell as he's doing, he says, I said, I hate bullies. And he just unleashes these Eldritch Blasts into this hyena.
Hyena yells in agonizing pain. You're not even sure if it's alive at this point. Uthal, you see its fiery eyes turn to you. Your body's just absolutely destroyed, just cut to ribbons. You see it lunge at you. You know that if one hits you, you're going down. But as it does so, you see it go limp in the air as it falls dead on the ground in front of you. And with that, you see the magic fade away. And all you see left on the ground is the massively burnt up corpse of Samantha on the ground, surrounded by the corpses of 4 dead gnolls on the ground, surrounded by 10 dead bandits on the ground. You see Sergeant Evernight is unconscious on the ground, bleeding out. You see the car is massively bleeding out. And then you look at Uthul, and to be honest, Uthul, your wounds are so grievous, you're gonna feel the adrenaline wear out, and you pass out and collapse on the ground.
Can I pass out in a particular way?
Yeah, you get to have the cool pass out pose here. So
Yeah. As he's sort of, he wants to just make sure she's dead, and he's gonna reach down, like hold his sword in 2 hands, stab it down, and just fall with it, like fall over the top of this hyena's body as the sword like plunges in, make sure this fucking thing's dead. But yeah, he's unconscious. He's just bleeding everywhere.
Collapse on the ground, and with that, the scene kind of darkens, and you guys can't even tell the passage of time at this point. Your bodies are wrecked with exhaustion. I don't think Olo, did you even get hurt that combat?
Nope.
No.
Olo was actually Olo, you're hurt. You're mentally hurt. Okay, you're
My
hurt.
pride.
Don't help. No.
Yeah.
Take 30 psychic damage from the PTSD. And good. All right.
And Ram, what are you at right now?
I'll make a sanity roll.
13.
I failed.
And with that, you see almost like a stillness kind of comes over, and you guys are kind of just sitting there, standing there, your arms shaking. Your bodies are just weak. And all you can hear off in the distance is the sound of a horn blowing. And you're not quite sure what's going on. You know they didn't sound the alarm. None of these guards did.
Yeah.
And then the only thing you can come up with is, what did the other 5 bandits do? And it almost seems to come to you that whatever those bandits did, they got somebody's attention. And all of a sudden you're looking around, just dead bodies everywhere. What do you two do?
Olo runs over to the fallen Dakar and quickly rifles through his stuff, looking for a pouch of sunburn.
So, yeah, you can get sunburn.
Yeah, so he's going to grab some of it, and he's going to run over to his big friend, Uthul, and he just slaps him to the face to try to get him just enough conscious. And he is going to force feed some of this sunburn to Uthul because he knows he's seen what it's done.
We still have 2 health potions.
We have 12 potions?
Uthul is at negative like 30 right now.
Oh.
That's like his wounds are so massively grievous that even healing them with a potion.
Negative 27.
Yeah, negative 27. Basically, you can almost see his heart.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Okay, let me retcon all that then. If he looks that bad, I'm going to look at Ram and say, I'm afraid we've lost our friend.
I have an idea. Don't worry.
Wait, do you have Tensor's disc?
I do. We've done this before. All right, break out the stretcher. He casts Tensor's floating disc with his.
I am going to cast it too as a ritual, and I'm going to have Ram.
We're not going to have time.
I think the ritual is going to take too much
time. The ritual
time.
takes 10 minutes.
I have my last level
it does
1
take
slot.
10 minutes. Okay, never mind.
So I'm going to use Tensor's floating disc, and I'm going to get Olo to help me load these guys up on it and get the hell out of here.
How much can that carry?
500 pounds.
500 pounds.
Uthul weighs like 400, doesn't he?
I'm like half of that. Yeah, more than half of that, like 365 pounds.
You could, surprisingly, that actually is enough for you to carry Uthal plus Evernight.
That's fine.
Does it look like either Dakar or Evernight could get up with a potion?
Probably Evernight, huh?
Evernight, possibly. You know that Uthal and Dakar are like negative like 30 right now, at least.
All right, then I'll throw Dakar and Uthal on there, and I'll give Evernight a
No,
potion.
no. We're gonna leave the car right where he is.
Are we?
Yeah, he's a bully.
He's a bully.
He treats people poorly, Rom. We used him like bullies use people. It's only right.
We're
He
bullies.
got his. No, we're not. And we're gonna save Evernight and we're gonna save Uthal, but he's got his own fate.
All right, so how are you guys getting out?
Is there a doorway? Is there a way out of here from her office, or do we have to go out the front way?
Well, I'll think back what happened in this encounter.
Was this
The secret doors.
Yeah. I thought those were just like secret little chambers that they were hiding in. But if look quickly.
Open the chambers and look.
I don't know. I didn't know they were there because Ola wasn't in there. So
That's right.
I'll check the chambers, and I tell Olo, take her head and make sure she stays down, and I'll check the doors, see where they go.
yeah, and I'll move my lights, those glowing globes, lanterns that I made. I'll move them. Oh, you don't need them. Never mind.
All right, so just to clarify what exactly we're doing here, Olo and Rom lift up Samantha. Not Samantha, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, we're gonna save her.
Just Uthal. And Evernight gets up after you. You heal Evernight or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you give Evernight a potion and she kind of gasps back to life, looking around at this utter carnage that surrounds them. She sees these dead gnolls everywhere. She sees Samantha's just wretched, destroyed corpse. And then Rom, you kind of feel around on these doors. You kind of find like a hidden latch, and you pull it open. And with the lights of Olo's spell, they cast down. I don't know, 30 feet in the dark. 30 feet in the dark.
No, they're much lighter than a regular lantern. It's only 10 feet around each one.
All right, you kind of push one of them in there, and to your surprise, this thing goes on for a long while. And actually, when you open up the vent here, this door, on the backside of it where you wouldn't normally see it, you actually see a hatch. Almost like it's designed to bolt from the outside coming into this room. So you'd almost seem like it perfectly can seemingly lock into the wall.
Okay.
And when I say this is like a path, this is like a full-on like 8 foot tall hall that leads out into the darkness. So
Sounds like a plan.
you guys start heading out that way.
Yeah.
And you guys do anything with the car? He's sitting there just collapsed on the ground.
I feel like Rom wouldn't feel right just leaving him like that. So
He probably bleeds out in your indecision.
yeah. I can I stabilize him and put him behind the other secret door?
Put him behind the other secret door. Yeah, roll me one medicine check. He's pretty effed up, so we'll see how well you do.
What's my medicine? I don't think I trained in it. 15.
Yeah, you managed to bandage up his wounds, and his unconscious body is there, and you drag him through one of the doors.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave him there.
All right. You kind of drag him behind one of the doors. You make sure it's locked, I guess, right?
Yep.
You lock it, and then you guys, how are you guys escaping out of here? You're just running down this path, hoping it leads somewhere good.
So based on my knowledge of like the city and stuff, what general direction do these two paths go?
This is like a seemingly, it's not an endless path, but this is a humongously long path that seems to go endlessly towards the east.
Does it go towards like a body of water or like
From what you
outside
know,
town?
from what you know about the area, there's only one place this could go, and this is to the woods, not your woods. This is the feral woods, the woods where alleged monsters come and go.
Where does the other one go?
Where is the other one? They're all like paths that kind of hook around into one tunnel.
Oh, okay, so they both go the same way.
Yeah, you basically can exit this path and then kind of do like a surround.
Okay, well, it's better than going out the front way, I guess, right? Yeah. All right, let's go. Pull him along like a kid in his Red Rider wagon.
Yeah, Olo would just be walking along the disc, making sure that Uthel's okay. Well, though he's not. But
Yeah, you see Uthel's body's just like barely breathing. There's no way anyone could survive such a blow unless they were some crazy powerful Goliath. And you guys walk, it feels like, honestly, it feels like a mile. And you're just walking and walking. And you're starting to question if this is an endless tunnel. But as that thought enters your mind, you see a faint glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. And with that, you guys slowly approach and kind of get to the end of the tunnel, poke your head out, and you find yourself, this exit of this tunnel is a rocky outcropping. You look down from this rocky outcropping and you see something utterly horrifying. You see one of the townsfolk getting dragged over to this altar, and it looks like there are elves with them, but you know better. Those aren't elves. As they grab this man, they place him on the altar, and you see these 4 baby gnolls. They're like 5, 6 years old. And this guy is just screaming, trying to pull away from them. But as he does so, you see these 4 gnolls run up, and they just start devouring this man alive. Sprays of blood covering their faces as they do so. And as they do so, the most horrifying thing you've ever seen in your life happens. As they devour him alive, this dark magic overtakes their forms. And you see the 4 children, young, baby, if you wish to call them that, gnolls immediately
Pups.
grow up into full-grown adults as the dark sacrifice empowers their bodies. And with that, the 4 of you see what's been going on in this town. And with that, we'll end the session.
Shit.
well, if I may, Joe,